Greetings, true believers, and welcome to another night in Empire City. As we sit back and prepare to be blanketed by another tale of fantastic superheroes and marvelous circumstances, it is the reason why we are here that we first must talk about. Tonight, our charity event of Marvel superheroes is going to fund the border crisis in the United States. RAICES, Texas is built to aid in the humanitarian crisis that we have down there. They provide funding, food, legal counsel, toys, and medical benefits for people that are stuck at our borders, and some, the smallest among them, being kept in cages. So, what a better time for heroes. And the heroes are not the ones that are wearing masks or wearing capes. They are the ones that are going to contribute to this cause, at least in my heart. And as I am playing Stan the Man Lee tonight, I think it is safe to say that, God rest his soul, he feels the same. And so before we dive into Empire City, I will let you all know, if you would please look down, not only do your donations help those in the real world along the border, they will help our players and our characters tonight battle the evils of this particular world, the evils that are kept within the pages of a comic book and not on CNN. But as we get closer and closer into this, I would like to tell you all that we've already reached our first 2 viewer polls, as we will be having another superhero join us. As you look down, you can see that you can donate to become a part of this crew, and I would like you to know that my good buddy Kentucky Hawkeye will be joining us as none other than Cyclops, Scott Summers. And so in the future, the mono-optical-eyed one will be here with his ruby quartz lenses, and he will make sure that if Logan gets out of hand or looks the wrong way at Jean Grey, he gets the eye. But that's then and this is now. And to go forward, we have to briefly go back. It is summertime in Empire City. It is hot. New York is known for a couple things. It's hard-working, melting pot of a city, but a melting pot itself gets oh so toasty. But what's going on in the world? This is the Marvel Universe, and it's a specific point in the Marvel Universe. It is the moment of mutant hysteria. This is the time when neighbor is looking at neighbor, and America is split right down the middle between anti and pro-mutant supporters. Legislation is being proposed and in some cases passed at both the local and federal level to force mutants to register, to document themselves, to label themselves as different, as the other, as inhuman and un-American. Parents are hiding mutations from prying eyes, fearing for their children's safety. Attendance at school was irregular. Homeschooling becomes the fad of the day, but it also draws prying eyes. Hate crimes against mutants are becoming commonplace as anti-mutant forces feed on our nation's fear and hatred. But what of our friends? What of our heroes? When last we saw them, they battled into a horrific scene in a place called Amber House, a retirement facility that was overrun with horrors. People murdered, bodies mutilated, organs taken. What have our heroes found out about this place? Nothing. Since the events, none of them have had run-ins with organ dealers. None of them have heard anything that would even relate to this very singular night in the city of the Empire. However, our 2 street-level heroes, Jessica Jones and Spider-Man, probably more so than the others who dwell in the shadows of the city, would recognize that along the alleyways and in the subways, against tile and brick, a strange new graffiti pattern has formed. A graffiti pattern that usually just spells out 5 alphanumerics, THAFO. The heroes always find out. Different styles, different colors, but seemingly everywhere in Empire City. But that's enough of what's going on. We know the world. If we are friends of the comic books and fans, we know that this is a trying time for Marvel's America and Marvel's New York. But there's something else we have to do tonight. We have to tell a legend for a great cause. So why don't we start? And as we have heroes that wear the capes, that fly and soar over buildings in a single bound. Yes, I know that's the other company. We also have heroes that are not so glittery, not so glamored, though heroes nonetheless. So let's bring in our first hero, and let me introduce Miss Jessica Jones. Little Cup of Joe, welcome. Who will you be playing this evening, even though I spoiled it a bit?
I'll be playing Jessica Jones, which won't be confusing at all since we share a name.
It helps me out.
You cannot get it wrong, not even remotely.
Oh, I'll try. I'll certainly try. So as we dive into this hot night in Empire City, this night of shadows and possibility, where do we find Jessica?
Find her stumbling late out of a bar with a bottle of water that she definitely took along with her.
And as your high-octane water is sipped with the frequency that some others might hydrate with, describe for me the city of the Empire, New York's Empire City, as you walk along at street level. We'll say it's not that late. It's maybe 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, but, and I'll obviously leave it up to you. I'm sure Jessica's probably logged in enough time at her local watering hole.
Yeah. I think as she's trudging through the streets, trying to pay attention but not really look too closely, she's keeping a vigilant eye. There's been a lot more crime, a big uptick in what's been going on, and she's had a lot of jobs coming in that she's kind of just been letting pile up, and messages she's been ignoring. Because a large portion of them have been trying to uncover mutants, and she's really not into getting involved in this whole choosing sides. She's uncovering the ones that seem like they're on her judgment, they're not great people, but there are plenty of jobs to uncover mutants that she's definitely just sort of slid off the desk into the wastebasket.
Fantastic. And as that is work, of course, for Miss Jones, it is to your apartment building that you are returning, also the scene of Alias Inc. And as you are walking forward without the need for a roll, as this is directed to you, you hear coming from an alleyway, "Jessica, help!"
Ah, shit. She's gonna run on over. Fast as she can.
As you round the corner into this alleyway, you see three large masculine figures looming over a child. You recognize this child as a member or one of your neighbors. The people around here call her Snail, though that is not her real name.
Susanna? Shit! She's gonna run at the guys and work on peeling them off of her.
The first person that sees you coming probably just is an idiot or has no idea who you are.
Cool.
He is going to elect to take a swing at you. And so as we are working with our new system right now, I would simply ask you to make a strength roll as
Alrighty.
This comes...
Hey.
Okay, so with a partial success, as we are using Powered by the Apocalypse, a 7 through 9 gives a partial success. And as you throw this punch, he throws this punch, it's able to clip you just a bit. You don't feel it, but it's more of a pride thing, and it's probably more of an alcohol thing, as your water has kicked in a little bit.
Yeah,
You
valid.
are able, though, to catch the fist at the end of it clipping your jaw. What do you do?
She will take it and reel back a bit to release the tension, kind of crack her jaw, and come back at him with another swing to return the favor.
Okay, so this is an attack, and roll me
Yep.
whatever attack you'd like to do. Are you holding back at all?
Yeah, I don't want to, like, knock his head off. I just want to knock him on the ground, and
I'm up for anything, but if you want to...
I don't think she wants Susanna to see that, but she would
Okay.
like to get this guy to know that she's not someone to mess with. So she's gonna hold back a little, but give him enough to probably knock him flat and knock him back a ways.
Let's see what happens.
So I'll do an unarmed strike.
Okay, so as you miss, you wildly swing,
Yep.
but it is the catching of the fist that has put this particular perpetrator off guard as you ended his attack quickly. And as he looks around at his friends, they seem to be chuckling of the trouble he's having. And he, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" As he comes in again and throws another punch. Again, I'd like you to roll a strength check as he seems to be attempting to do some damage.
Yeah, she's gonna try to catch that punch with her free hand.
Oh, and catch it you do. Who did we lose there? Oh, Steve just popped out.
Oh no!
Give me one
Camera
second.
shenanigans.
Cameras. Oh, you just got spoiled with the Wolverine reveal. Everybody, say hi to Don. There's Don. Everyone will be right back real quick as I redo the cameras. Be right back, friends.
Ooh, a potential +2. Sweet.
All right, everybody, we are back. And welcome again to Empire City as we have the attack going on. And just as this time the punch is thrown through, there was a 10 rolled. So I want you to tell me, Jess, what happens here as this is a complete success. Whatever you wanted to do is going to happen. So tell us, how does Jessica Jones eliminate this threat?
All
As
right,
I'm going to put
so
up our
she's-
first poll.
Yeah, so I think her first punch that she tried to get that he caught that was a little awkward is still holding, and she's coming in to catch his other hand as he swings with his other fist. She grabs it, gives him a twist, and then just pushes him back out of her face, as far back as the momentum will carry him.
Okay,
And
so
then, yeah.
it's going to be quite far. As soon as you turn and twist and throw this guy, you hear the audible kind of, it's not a dislocation, it's a pop as the shoulder leaves the socket for a moment and then comes right back in. There is a very high, as he feels his joint give, and as you throw this person back, they roll into one of the other attackers. The two of them then turn, and it seems that the muggers, if you will, one of them recognizes Jessica Jones and begins to run. You see them just padding off down the alleyway, full flight. The other two see potentially the toughest of their number turn and run. And whenever you see a tough guy running, the rule of the day is you run with that person. And so they are moving away as well. They have not left your vicinity yet, so if you'd like to do something, you can.
I think she's going to, she'll interpose herself she'll interpose herself between the girl and them and just like make like she's gonna chase a few paces until to kind of scare them off the rest of the way. Yeah, you go. Get the hell out of here.
They run off, padding as fast as criminal feet can carry them. And you feel a small form pull against your calf and thigh, hugging you at the knee.
You okay?
I saw you coming.
Great. Did they hurt you?
No, they went in the building.
All right, come on, let's get you back to your mom.
It's at this point that even though you're used to the way that Snail appears, it's what everybody else is looking at is you see her eyes appear to be raised a bit, not bug-eyed or, bulging, but they seem to actually lift from her sockets as if they are maybe on appendages beneath the actual orbit. It's disconcerting if you see it at first, and it takes a bit of time to recognize, but you've been around her enough, and though cruel, the nickname of Snail may be apt.
Yep. Yeah, she's gonna help her up and kind of pat her off a little bit and start to take her into the apartment and get her home.
She reaches up and tries to take your hand as you're walking in.
She just kind of gives her a bit of a look, but doesn't say anything about it. She'll let her take her hand. And start stumble walking up the stairs as carefully and pretend soberly as she can.
Snail is very polite in that she attempts to direct you as a friend would. Not noticing or commenting on the errant step or the crisscross of legs, but guiding you nonetheless. And her small hand wraps around your forefinger and middle finger on the hand that was provided. And before you get up into your building, you feel her pull a bit at the bottom step, and she's looking at you.
You scared?
No, I saw you coming. Are you a mutant?
No, not exactly. Why?
She looks down a bit. Kind of hoping that you were.
You don't want to get involved in that shit.
I don't think I have a choice.
Yeah, well, if your mom's worth anything, she'll keep you out of it. She gives a damn.
Okay.
You want to stop off, get a drink, and clean up before we send you home?
Okay. Her voice catches a bit.
Come on. She'll take her to her office and hope that she has something non-alcoholic in there.
I'm sure there's something that's mixed with something. Right?
There's a 50-50 chance. I might have to roll for that one.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Roll me a resources. What the hell?
Okay. Sure, why not?
There is literally nothing in Alias Inc. that provides hydration. Nothing. There's only like coffee grounds and liquor everywhere, as far as the eye can see.
All right, ordering in it is. She's just gonna go for the phone.
Right. Okay, so as this happens and as we see this sit-in, this picnic, this urban Empire City picnic in the non-hydrated world of Jessica Jones, we will literally go across town to an entirely different world, a fantastic world. Mr. Fantastic, how are you doing, Mark?
I'm
Introduce
doing
yourself
great.
to
How are you
everybody.
doing, sir?
I'm having a blast. Anytime I get to deal with Jessica Jones and drinking, that's like two of my very favorite things. So, everybody, introduce yourself, Mark, and let everybody know, of course, that you're playing the father figure of Marvel's first family.
That is correct. My name is Mark Slack, and today I will be portraying the role of Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, leader and father figure of the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic, fantastic. And where have you been, Reed? What have you been up to as you are just now coming back into Empire City?
Well, I have been called to Washington, D.C., of course. I've been at the Pentagon at a top level meeting, meeting some 5-star generals about some very hush-hush patents that I've personally been working on for the government.
Oh, excellent. As the U.S. government is looking to outfit themselves with tech provided by none other than Reed Richards, it seems as if Tony Stark may have taken a break from the weapon tech making biz, at least as far as the government's concerned.
Well, this is all pro bono work that I'm doing. Stark is much more of someone who's going to try to get $1 out of it. I do all this for the good of mankind, of course.
Of course. And the nonprofit tax association for the Baxter Building. I'm joking. Okay, so
Doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. What we're going to say is this: as you're traveling into Empire City, being brought in from the local airfield, whether it be the private field or JFK or LaGuardia, you enter into the city, and as you travel through the urban valleys, it is your senses of just general emergency and danger that pick up there is a problem. You see cross streets as emergency personnel begin to going by, and your driver turns around. I'm sorry, Mr. Richards, I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but traffic is starting, well, and he indicates the sea of red lights in front of you, and you notice that smoke is coming out of one of the corners of the buildings from one of the valleys, and you know that this is the cross street that houses the Baxter Building.
Excellent. I immediately roll down the window and I stretch my neck out the door and up really high above the car so I can get a better perspective of the situation.
Even in New York, this is still a sight, as the row of cars behind you, the white lights that are facing your car, and the street pedestrians that are walking. Some of the tourists stop and begin taking pictures, but the true residents of New York start cheering as they see Reed Richards, and you hear, "Hey, fantastic! Hey, it's Mr. Fantastic back! Hey, stretch!" And everybody's, yelling from different areas of the sidewalks and across. But as you stretch up, Reed, you get further and further up, and you see the lick of flames reflected off of an adjacent building, a mirrored glass building across from the Baxter Building, and it's just enough to read the 4 inverted and the flames that are covering your building.
Well, Reed's first thought is, this is an impossible situation because I have planned for this. There are defenses against all kinds of flame attacks that should have prevented all of this. So something must be horribly wrong. And he begins trying to diagnose the situation and figure out what's up. The rest of his body rises up out of the town car, and he begins to, like spaghetti string leg, bound across the city towards the Baxter Building, all the while thinking in his head of as many computations as he can think of to figure out what the problem must have been with the automated devices that should have put out these flames.
Okay, as you roll around the corner, running on your incredibly long legs that move not like a stilt, but like the legs and stretch and stride of what you are, an elongated man. And as you roll and creep around and slide around the corner, you look forward and you see that it is not the building itself that appears to be on fire, as just like you spoke, there are hell, somebody that lives in this building bursts into flames. There have been things that have been taken care of. Along the outside along the outside of the Baxter building, almost as if it was splashed there, is some type of burning liquid that you can see the New York's finest as the firefighters and the NY fire department go forward and are putting this out, and you can tell that they are using powder in certain areas to extinguish and cease the spreading of what looks to be a substance causing the burning. But as you look, without the need for a roll because your eyes are being drawn there to the scene, while the Baxter building is burning, it is not the source of the biggest concern. Lying in the middle of the street and being tended to as best they can, several agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wearing their yellow and golden armor are attempting to work on a massive fallen figure of orange rock who is not moving.
Good God, it's Ben. I approach the scene, and immediately my attention is drawn to my fallen comrade, Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. I swoop into the scene, the top half of me, as my legs are still running to catch up. And my torso approaches in front of the what seems to be the leader of the S.H.I.E.L.D. squadron. And I say, "Young man, what has happened here?" And I immediately lean down towards Ben and try to diagnose what seems to be wrong with him.
As you look, roll me an intuition as you look, and I'll tell you what you see. And it should be down, I guess, towards the bottom, I think, and just the little D20 beside it will add it all up. Luckily, Wolverine did all the math for us.
Got that?
I didn't, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pop one up and give it a roll for you. There we go. With a 6, that is actually a miss as you come forward. But I'll tell you this, you're not able to decide or determine exactly what's wrong with Ben. But when you get closer, you realize that the orange isn't the darkest thing about him. It's a color. You've been around him in both states, human and evolved, for a long time. And you see that there's blood running between the cracks of the brick. He's lying, and as soon as you kind of bend into view, you see and hear the as this massive rock head turns and rolls over and looks up, and you see that somehow the brick has crushed along the side of his face, closing one of his eyes, the right eye now pinched shut, but you see the blue bloodshot eye. Read.
Ben, what's happened?
You see a tear roll out of the eye. I tried to stop him, but I couldn't.
Stop who? Speak, man. How can I help you if you don't tell me what's going on?
The kid, he wanted to go out. Them cards he plays with, that game he plays, your son, Franklin.
My God, Franklin. And my mind immediately turns to my teenage son, 12 years old, and just now starting to show strange powers and abilities. I left him alone for the weekend with Ben here. Where is he, Ben? Is he still in the building?
No, they took him. Some guy asked me for an autograph, and his eye opens and it fixates on you. I ain't never been hit like that. Not since the brick. They put me down and they didn't let me back up.
Ben, you keep saying they. Who are they?
Never seen them. But Reed. And you hear the as one of his arms shifts and his massive left hand opens, and you hear the crinkle of metal as what looks like a portion of car door has been crushed in his hand. And as he uses his fingers to kind of unfold the metal, it says Scarlet Cab Company. They put him in a cab. Read him. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Ben, you can't blame yourself for this. You men, see to this man. He needs medical attention. There's specialized devices inside the building that should be able to help.
He looks up and he tries to get up. You see him put the arm that with the crumpled metal drops to the ground as he tries. I'm coming with you. It's my fault. And as he pushes himself up, you see a gout of blood cough up against his chin, but he continues to try to rise. What do you do?
I grow my hand to a giant size and press against the shoulder and press him back down gently to the ground and say, no, Ben, this time you got to sit this one out. These men will help. You'll be more helpful to us once you've rested. I'll find him.
Reed. He doesn't try to fight against you. But again, the good eye locks into yours, and you can see the pupil, and for whatever a concussion looks like on a creature like the Thing, this is it. But he focuses long enough as he looks at you. They hurt me, Reed. You gotta be careful. They hurt me bad.
I will, old chum. I will. Rest now.
And you can see him again. It's almost as if just his gaze is forcing him. But then you see the one blue eye lull back into his skull. And slowly the rock rolls down as he comes to rest on the New York City sidewalk. Everybody else seems to be heeding what you've said. These SHIELD members you kind of hear it peripherally as your mind is whirling. They've notified Sue and Johnny over in Europe. They're at a NATO conference to let them know what has happened. They are taking everything that you've said. They have a flatbed truck coming in. They're going to take him to the nearest SHIELD medical facility to do what they can. They're bringing in whoever they think can help them.
Excellent. Well, my attention immediately now turns to the building, and I'm going to stretch up to the place where the impact of the liquid substance is burning the exterior of the building, and see if I can get a take on what the substance might be.
As you stretch up now, you realize that when you're not at the ground level, but only at a level that Mr. Fantastic could reach. As soon as you stretch up, you realize it's not just a a splatter or a pool that's kind of laced up here. It seems to spell out something. And written in this flame, it says, "The heroes always find out."
His eyes widen as he's heard this phrase before. Did we hear this before?
You did. And as you see this, it's easy enough to put out. If you want to, smother it, you and the New York City Fire Department are able to quickly put this out. It
Great.
was a symbol or a sign, not meant to. I mean, there's some scorch marks on the building, but nothing structurally wrong with it.
Excellent. Well, I work with the firemen to put out the flames, and reaching my hand in through the window to trigger the automated drones that come out with fire extinguishers and begin putting out the flames all over the area. Then I
do so.
Go back down into the ground level as they are taking the body of the thing and putting him inside the on the back of the flatbed truck, and I immediately go inside the building so that I can get on a computer to look up this taxi cab station and see if I can get any information about where their hub might have been so that I can track down the taxi cab.
It certainly does not take Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards, one of the most brilliant minds on the planet, to cross-reference a street address, and you quickly find out that the dispatch hub for the Scarlet Cab Company is down by the Port Authority.
Well, then immediately I will head there, again, stretching my way across the city down to the Port Authority to check out the taxi cab hub.
Absolutely. And as you're running down that area, we're going to go over to our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But I will let everybody know that as we take a quick second between the narrative, yes, we had the first poll ended in a 3-way tie. So I need you to go ahead. If you haven't voted, please go ahead and do so. Currently, it's just ! Vote, and then the hero of your choice. Please vote if you can, and I will let you know as soon as we complete this, and we have more coming up. So, fantastic. No pun intended. And as we cut away from this area and the aforementioned Reed Richards, we go into the skies. Actually, no. Spider-Man, you are looking down at the building across the street. You're down close to the water. You can smell the aromas of the river. And as you look down at the Scarlet Cab Company dispatch station, you see that it is very quiet. The Daily Bugle received an anonymous tip that they saw a child being taken into this area, but the child looked like a mutie. And as the Daily Bugle has, under J. Jonah Jameson, proven to be an anti-mutant publication, this anonymous tip was not forwarded to the authorities. It was thrown in the circular file, and that is where Peter Parker found it. How you doing, Spidey? And who are you under that mask? Let us know how you're doing, buddy.
I'm doing okay. I'm trying to look out of one eye, and so bear with me on this, guys. It's great to be back on Sunday. I'm Steve, and I'm playing the hardest working man in the business, Spider-Man. I feel like he's probably in the amazing, spectacular Marvel team up. So he's probably all over the place every day. So this is just another day on the street.
Fantastic. And as you look down, what do you do as you see the Scarlet Cab Company? But you've been here for a good 10, 15 minutes. No cabs have arrived. No cabs have left. But you do see a fenced-off parking lot with no fewer than 24 red-painted cabs and taxis lined up. The lights are still on, but you don't see anybody.
Spider-Man's going to do his inner monologue. Something's not right. I've been looking around here for 15 minutes and no cabs have come in. This is the first time ever I've seen this. Jay Jonah. Every time I think that has some redeeming qualities, he completely proves me wrong. And now I got to find this little girl. So Spider-Man's but I got to get pictures too. Why do I have to pay the rent? Why does rent due? So he's got his 15,000 things going on in his mind, and he slings up the camera up in a spot so maybe he could take some pictures for since he is the menace that is Spider-Man. And it might look like he's sneaking into the cab company, but he's gonna hop down and go investigate what's going on down there.
Okay, well then with a webbing of your camera in place to take mid and long range shots of you entering the building, as Peter Parker is the only one that can truly get and capture Spider-Man at his most foul and villainous. Let's try that one. But as you're creeping down, you see two figures for the first time on this deserted street moving. Well, let's figure out how they're moving as we bring in the entire cast as Wolverine and Kitty Pryde move towards the Scarlet Cab Company. Welcome in, everybody, especially welcome in Dawn and Lindy. Please tell us who you'll be playing. As I figure out what I'm going to do about this poll, I'm giving everybody boons.
Hi, yeah, I'm Lindy, and I'm be playing Kitty Pryde, aka Shadowcat, a young, youthful member of the Junior X-Men. I'm working on that Junior still. Gotta just figure out that. Maybe after this mission. I don't know. Fingers crossed.
And I'm Don. I'll be playing Logan, aka the Wolverine today. And Logan's on a mission with Kitty Pryde. She's a junior member, but she is maybe his favorite junior member. So while he would never admit it to her, he's sort of glad that she's there.
Okay, so you all have been, or I should say are X-Men. I'm sorry. Junior X-Men and main team X-Men. Have been brought to. Why are you here? You tell I shouldn't have to say anything. What are you all doing in Empire City?
Well, one of the younger X-Men, another junior X-Men by the name of Doug Ramsey, has gone missing. And we've had a few missing mutants recently at Xavier's School for the Gifted. They've always come back. Oftentimes, they've been visiting this new group of mutants found beneath the city, the Morlocks. And Doug is the first one that hasn't come back. It's gone on too long. He's been missing too long. So they've sent Logan to go sniff him out and find him. And that's why he's there.
Yeah, and he's my best friend, so I'm here to just, try to get him to come back. Because he's my best friend. Who am I going to play video games with?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's not going to be Logan.
Before we go any further, as the quest for Douglas Ramsey and everyone else continues, I will let our friends know that the tie is between Wolverine, Kitty, and Spider-Man for the upgrade. The upgrade as follows. For Spider-Man, you have a friend in Mr. Stark. You may, for the rest of this session, add +1 to your Spidey sense, as you are able to fine-tune and hone your Peter Tingle, and you're able to figure out exactly what is needed. Kitty, you're ready to graduate. You get a +1 to your agility for the rest of the session. And Wolverine, Weapon X. Now, for the cost of 1 action in combat, you can heal 2 damage instead of 1. So that's our first poll, everybody. Thank you very much. Please vote on the second one. The second poll is for I believe, an NPC ally. That's a big one, as it could potentially help somebody out in a pickle. But thank you very much for the continued donations. I really, really appreciate it. Please let us know whenever you donate who and what you would like to happen. I believe that we have a +2 that just came in for Wolverine from Roller. So we'll put that down. And then let's see. I'm going to roll a d4 to see who Grants is, because I don't believe he said. Alrighty, 3 down is Mr. Fantastic. Gets a +2 as well. Alrighty, so you can use those +2s on any roll. You have to say it before you roll it, though. So if it's a biggie, add a +2 to it, and that could help out quite a bit. But as the search for Douglas Ramsey continues, you all have been able to track using Wolverine's abilities and just asking around that the last people, or the last time Doug was seen, was getting into a scarlet cab. He was on his way to the train station, presumably to return to Graymalkin Lane. He never arrived at either the train station and, of course, Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
Question about the Scarlet Cab Company. Is this a cab company that we would all recognize as being like a very popular company, or is this sort of lesser known?
Yeah, the red cabs get you anywhere you need in Empire City.
And we're outside of the Red Cab Company's like headquarters right now?
It's their dispatch office. This would be the place where if somebody called and needed a cab, and where the drivers would return their cabs in the evening for those that are not medallioned. So it's their headquarters, de facto, if you will.
So Logan's trucking up the street, having made a stop off at a bar, have a quick beer beforehand. And he's heading towards the company now, and he kind of looks aside to Kid, and he's like, all right, so you're going to be an X-Man soon, right?
Hopefully. It's been a long time. I've been in the Junior X-Men for forever. So, ready to move up.
All right, Kid. Well, you're up when we get in there. Just you do the talking, and I'll do the standing, and then
You just don't want to talk to anybody, do you?
I don't want to talk to a cabbie.
Okay. Just do your whole just stand there. Just stand there regularly. You look intimidating. So.
All right, I can do that. But remember, we don't know who these people are. We're probably not going to know anything. But if they do, we just need to not give too much information about who we are away.
Yes. I'm on it.
All right.
As this conversation is happening, as you are walking down the street, kind of like you as described, Spidey, you can see these two walking. It doesn't take a roll to recognize Shadowcat from your adventures of a few months prior. And as farther up the city, Mr. Fantastic is now aware and moving towards this very location. But it is back to Jessica Jones that we travel as this. Well, let's just say you all hear something at the Scarlet Cab Company. Let's find out exactly what it is. Jessica, you have given the drink. It's a half hour after. I'm not sure. What did you guys order? What was delivering at 10 at night?
Whatever was the greasiest thing she could find on delivery, so probably Chinese.
I was just going to say Chinese has been delivered. Snail has sat there, had her fill. And as she looks at you, the eyes, every once in a while you see one creep even higher. And then you can see her kind of deliberately pull and reel them back into place. And she gets up and looks and sees that it's 10 o'clock. I better go. Mom will be home.
Yeah, and the this, you should probably not do that so much. If you can.
Her face falls when you say that.
Just
It's hard not to.
I know, but other people will kind of freak out. It'll keep you out of trouble.
Are you sure you're not a mutant?
No, I just break shit a lot.
She looks at you not as if she believes you, but she looks at you as if this is some. You've just told her something that adults tell kids, that when they hit the truth, this is a diversionary tactic. And a little smile creeps up on her face and her eyes lift just a little bit. Goodbye, Jessica.
Yeah, see ya. Don't be walking around so late at night next time, alright?
Okay. The door closes.
She just kind of shuts the door. Man, I hate babysitting.
It's the end of the night. Is there more drinks in Jessica's future, or is...
I think she probably rummages around to take stock of what she has for a moment so she can plan her trip to the liquor store in the morning with her, trip to get a coffee. But she drops down at the desk, kind of chucks an empty bottle into the wastebasket and starts looking at the jobs that have been piling up. And there's just a rhythmic tossing one, looking at one, setting it aside for later, toss. And she's kind of going through those motions for a little while.
All right, well, you're about 20 minutes into that when you hear the front door of the building crash open. And you hear, for the second time in the evening, Jessica, help! As
Son of a bitch! She's gonna get up and run down.
as you are running down, you're able to get through the shattered door of your apartment building. It is no longer on its hinges, the frame itself broken. And as you get and turn the corner, you see a scarlet cab rounding into a cross street. And for a moment, you don't see anything in the back window except one eye that is looking up over the back seat.
Shit. Alright, well, she does not have her camera, but she does check for it to try and, get pictures of the plate, and then cusses thoroughly. But we'll kind of keep an eye and try to see if she can, get it and scribble it on something, if she could catch any of the plate before she,
Oh yeah, you can catch all of
far.
it. You can see the entire, as it's going underneath the street lights, you can see the entirety of the cab. There appears to be at least one figure driving. You're not sure. It looks like there is a massive shadow in the back seat, and then the aforementioned eye that was peeking over the upholstery. Most definitely belonging to Snail.
Cool. Yeah, keeping that in her sights, and she's gonna run after it.
All right, let's roll an endurance to see how.
Yeah.
Nothing
like taking a drunken jog at 10 o'clock at night.
Right. This is where the vodka just pours out of every pore. Right. Oh, hell yeah.
You know what? Sometimes it's just what you need.
Sometimes it's vitamins. Okay, so as you are cruising through here, this is Empire City, but it's also a little bit later. So the cab's it's maintaining about a 3 or 4 block spread. It doesn't seem to be running red lights, but it does seem aware of you as it's turning deliberately down streets to gain a little bit more speed and length, even though it seems to kind of reorient itself to the south. But you are keeping up. As soon as you round a corner, there you see it going forward. And with the alcohol and just the sheer heat, you are busted, sweating for sobriety. Love it. There's
Power
no better
of
way.
alcohol and rage fuels me right now.
Yeah, sweat, fear, and pepper spray. The only things to sober you up. Okay. As you are running, let's cut back to our entire group. As you all hear the approach of a vehicle, and this vehicle seems to be going a little bit faster than necessary as it rounds. Spidey, you would see a scarlet cab come into view on the backside of this area, slip into the garage and into the fenced in area as it goes through and disappears into the massive warehouse garage. Wolverine and Kitty, you would hear all of this, but because of it's chain link fence with wrapped through ribbon to give it a privacy type of feel. But you would hear the approach of this vehicle. Spidey, you would see it. Reed, you round the corner as you are running in. Jessica, covered in sweat and, well, a high proof sweat, you are able to get there, and for the first time, all of you converge, 4 on the street level, 1 still on the building. Tell me what you do, friends.
Shit, it's you guys
Jessica!
again. Hi.
Oh, fantastic!
Did you see where that damn car went?
I heard it.
Psst. Hey guys, it's me.
Spidey!
What's up?
It's good to see
Great.
you again.
Cool.
Hey,
You
Wolverine.
guys want to help me find where the hell it went? They just kidnapped a kid.
I got this. And Spider-Man he's going straight for the building. He just straight for the top of the warehouse to see if he can peer in. I got this.
Kidnapped
Okay.
child in a taxi.
Yeah, long story. She lives in my apartment. Come on.
Hey, can you guys turn that way? There's a camera up there. It'd be great for the bugle.
What? No.
Never
No.
mind.
Okay, so Spidey, roll me a web shooter as you are looking to get to the best vantage point here into an area that you aren't familiar with. Holy!
Boom.
That is literally the highest thing that you can possibly roll. So as you look at this, everyone would see Spidey just explode into movement, completely without sound, as the web shooters hit the perfect pitch of the roof, indicating and identifying a skylight that none of you saw before. Spidey, you are able to take to the top of this building without so much as a creak of metal, so much as an indication of your presence. And there is a skylight, dirty, but transparent, looking into the warehouse.
Yep. He will definitely peer in.
You see a cab idling. The doors are open, 3 of them. The lights are still shining, and as you peek in, those lights are the only thing creating illumination. You can see a bit of the dashboard. You can see the light over top of the license plate, but the warehouse itself is dark.
Is the door, did they close the door and like lock it? Can I tell if the door is locked or maybe let the other guys in to let the team in?
You'd have to get closer to see that. Are you going to go
Okay,
inside?
he's good.
You can,
Unnecessary for some, I guess. So he's good. Yeah, he's going to try to slip in through the window. Can he do that?
with a 14, hell yeah. You can open up the skylight easily, even though it has been clogged with grime and just Empire City's life. And you're able to drop from skylight to the ground on the grease-covered floor without a sound. Your
Do I
door's
hear anybody
circulating with
talking?
You hear the idle of the engine of the cab. You don't hear anybody talking.
He's going to go for the door to let the others in as quietly
It's
as
easy.
possible. You know, no Spidey sensing going off. I'm at monstrous level now, so I can anything
You-
going on is
Right. You can hear an atom fart.
yes.
As the rest of you see Spider-Man jump up and then jump. A moments later, the door opens. All of this silently.
Guys.
If you haven't been impressed yet, now's the time.
Yeah, Spider-Man's like, I got this, guys. Come on in.
All right, kid, listen. New plan. You stick behind me. Things get tough in there. Just be careful. Don't get hurt.
Me get hurt? No. I'll be fine. I'll just.
All right. Hey, And I imagine that Jessica Jones and Logan have probably, even though they weren't on the last mission together, they probably at least like know of each other,
Sure. That seems
right? Because
reasonable.
Jessica's pretty famous in New York City.
Pretty famous.
Well, I would say that any of the superhero community would know of Jessica simply because, if anything, she has given up that life. And so the anomaly always gets noticed. And, Jessica is definitely an anomaly among people that wear capes and spandex.
Right.
She's the quitter.
So
She's the quitter.
she's the smart one.
She's the quitter. I love that. I want a t-shirt. Jessica Jones is a quitter.
Hey, any idea why they would grab this kid?
Yeah, she's a mutant.
He gives Kitty a look.
He's already given you a look. Like, this looks like a lead.
As they go by, Spider-Man's trying to get fist bumps from all of them. Hey guys,
Oh, I definitely. We're friends.
what's up?
Hey, how you been?
Good. What's up? What's up, Jess? Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Watch those claws, Logan. Fist bump.
Yeah, I'll watch him. He does not give him a fist bump.
Hey, Reed. How are you?
Does it not
Really
strike
excited
any of the
about
three of you as suspicious that all three of us once again have been brought together by circumstances beyond our control?
Well, you didn't call us, and you said you were going to call us the next time, so I just thought this was a crazy random happenstance.
This stuff happens to me all the time, Reed.
Yeah, random shit happens a lot. Could we just focus on
We're
getting the
investigating
damn
something.
kid back, please?
I don't believe in circumstantial evidence. There's clearly something that connects our last meeting with this.
All right, who's looking for a missing kid?
I gotta agree with Reed on this.
I am, but
All
in
right.
this case, my own child.
What?
Oh no.
My son
Franklin's
Franklin
missing?
is missing as well. And if that is the case, then we should all take care.
Let me ask you this. Your son Franklin, he a mutant too?
Did Charles tell you that?
No, you just did.
Yeah. Like 2 out of 3 are mutants, so it made sense to ask about the third, and then you kind of just confirmed it by not.
We're looking.
Listen,
we're
the question
looking
you just
hard.
asked, that's very secretive information that I've tried to protect.
You don't have to worry about us. We're the good guys.
Well,
Logan sniffs around just to see if he can smell like any number of children.
Let's see. Roll me a. You have a census, don't you? Do you have a roll for that?
Yeah,
Don?
I do. An 11.
All right. So that is a complete success. I will tell you that not only do you smell Doug Ramsey, mutants have a different smell. It's because it's usually mixed with whatever their mutation would happen to be, which makes them special, which makes them unique. Whether it's Nightcrawler, who has a hint of brimstone at all times, whether it's even Kitty, who smells too clean because she can phase and anything on her will not continue unless it's what she wants. You smell these types of odd, unique, perfect mutations, no fewer than 4 dozen.
Well, there's a good chance that all the kids are here right now. But there's a lot of mutants here. Or at least there were recently.
Is this one?
Where did you grab that from the street?
It was just by my feet. I just picked it up.
That's a stray cat. You should probably
That's just
put
a
it
cat,
down.
Kitty.
I just wanted to make sure before we just.
Kitty, that's a cat.
I did.
Okay, that's kind of gross.
Greg, what's the inside of this warehouse room look like? There's a car. What else is there?
As you look around inside the warehouse, you see the idling car. You see materials that would look best described to be mechanics tools. There's a car lift. How far in are you going? Just by the car's right in through the door. So it's right in through the open garage door of the area, or the garage door that it opened and closed. But do you go deeper into the warehouse?
He'll move to the car first because that's the car that's still moving. So whoever was there, their scent is going to be strongest near the car.
Spider-Man's going back up the walls.
Okay.
Yeah. Jessica's gonna check out the car and see if she can investigate any details out of it.
Sure. Roll me. Everybody roll me who's looking at the car. I think it's intuition is the investigative one.
Yeah. I'm helping out Logan because he's in charge.
I'll scout ahead.
Nice. So, Kitty, as you look ahead, you're able to get to the end of the building. Spider-Man, you would see the same thing as, let's see, you can roll me an intuition too if you want, Steve. But Kitty, as you get to the end of the building, you find that there is a door that leads into what could only be the HQ proper and not the garage. But it's a smaller door. It's not something a car could drive through. This is a personnel door for, a regular sized person. Steve, you see the exact same thing. You don't see anything else, though. It's awful dark in this area, and the door itself doesn't indicate that there's any light present beyond it, meaning there's no line ringing the outside of the frame or the door itself, no light spilling from beneath it. But as we go to Wolverine and Jessica Jones at the car, Logan, you get a very good smell. You can definitely tell that there were 2 humans in this car, and a mutant was definitely present very recently. Jessica, when you look into the car, using your deductive powers, you can tell that there's heat in certain seats. You can tell that there were also 2 occupants in Snail. But when you look at the seat where you saw the little eye creep over the upholstery, almost as if done with a fingernail, gouged and kind of whitening the fake leather of the seat, it says, "Help, JJ."
Hey, you all right?
You're all right. So you said you smelled how many?
50, maybe more.
Shit.
Greg, the car, do I recognize any of the scents? Like maybe it's a person that I've personally come in contact with before?
Nope. With your catalog of scents, much like somebody would indicate eye color or somebody's hair color, nothing pops up as being known. All scents are a bit similar, but nothing too unique about any of these.
Only thing I can tell you for sure is at least whoever was in this car, I don't think they were mutants.
Yeah,
Don't smell like it.
Okay.
Nose always knows.
And the scratching in the seat are my deductive reasoning powers good enough to assume that was probably where Snail was?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's probably with the rest of them, making a good guess.
Don't worry, Jess. We're going to find him. And Spider-Man's kind of almost talking gruff like Wolverine now. We're going to find him good.
What?
What are you? What's that thing you're doing with your voice?
What? I'm just trying to be a little bit more gruff.
How old are you? Is it puberty?
What?
What?
I'm way older than that.
How old are you?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
We're like the same age.
Huh? We are? He knows. He knows who she is.
I make a pretty good guess.
There's this many mutants around here, then however they're holding them, they've got to have something high tech or someone powerful has to be behind it, or many powerful people. 50 mutants. It's an army.
So either a lot of people or a lot of people with a lot of tools. Either way, we gotta get them out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are 5 of us, unless I'm maybe seeing more than I should be right now, which is entirely fucking possible, by the way.
No, you can still count. There's 5 of us.
Okay, good. That's one thing I got going for me right now.
You gotta imagine they know we're here.
I don't know,
Already.
we were really quiet.
Oh,
Just bust in and go for it.
sounds good to me. Hey, Mr. Fantastic, you got any, I don't know, special gizmits or whodunits?
So while all this conversation has been happening, Mr. Fantastic has been stretching all around the exterior and interior of the place wherever he can look to get the lowdown on the whole electronic and basic tech framework of this like late 90s era cab place. I imagine there's probably a couple of colorful iMacs sitting on some desks with Rolodex next to them, and some fax machines, things like that. I'm looking for cameras, some sort of security system to see if they have any cameras that he could have been perusing while his compatriots have been discussing all this.
Right. Without need for a roll, I'll tell you this, that you identify the physical cameras themselves. They seem to be positioned primarily on the cars outside, making sure that if there's any theft of the vehicles themselves, it's captured. Inside, you see that there is a camera kind of in the corner that would give it the most coverage. Power seems to be going to all of those as the red lights continue to blink on the cameras. But as you look around, you don't see, it seems that the cabling or the infrastructure for the tech is inside the main building. It's not out here in the garage. However, as you are searching around, you do see a playing card towards the door inside the building. It's about the size of a playing card.
I pick up the card and approach the team to report on what I've surveilled in the situation. And where are Wolverine and Jessica standing?
I think
Like right by the car?
Yeah, we were pretty much right
by the
car, 'cause
vehicle
we just got
itself.
done investigating it.
All right. I'm going to hold up the card and say, I found this. I think we should make our way into the building proper.
What is that?
It's a card. Seems out of place.
As
Show it to
you,
them.
Mr. Fantastic, as you flip it over from what would be the uniform or the side that doesn't give identification or any type of unique features, when you flip it over, you realize that it is a card from Magic the Gathering, a favorite of your son.
It's a playing card. It's a game that came out in '94. Then we've been playing it. It's very intellectual. Been playing it for several years with Franklin, and he loves it.
Okay, so it belongs to your kid, is
Indeed.
basically the gist.
Yes, that's the gist.
Okay. Looks like he left you a clue. Smart kid.
Where did you find it?
Greg, did I find it outside the building or?
You found it just off to the side of the door from the garage into the building proper.
Okay. Listen, somebody's rounding up mutants for whatever reason, against their will. We shouldn't hold back when we go in there. We don't know how strong they are. We can't take risks. We get those kids out.
Well, we can't take risks, but we also can't take lives, Logan.
Yeah. No killing, Wolverine.
Listen, Bubba, you think they're going to give us the same chance?
Well, we're not them.
We hesitate. Think they won't hurt the kids in there? You going to risk that?
Let's just do what we gotta do to get him out of there, all right? If you don't want to kill, don't kill, but I ain't making any promises.
Well, I promise you I'll do whatever I can to keep anyone, even the guilty, from dying.
That's real nice of you. Now, come on, let's go. She's gonna start walking.
Who's going in first?
Spider-Man will probably try to take walls and ceilings in first to see what's going on.
You can do that, but the only way into the building appears to be, unless you want to go completely outside and try to go in through the one of the windows of the building proper, is to go in through this kind of personnel door from the garage to the building proper.
Do you want to go in through a wall?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
He pats around. Hey, you didn't steal one of my cigars, did you?
Oh, you dropped it earlier. Here.
Oh, yeah, thank you. All right, just don't make it feel too tingly.
I'll do my best.
Smoking's bad for your health, she says as she takes a drink of her water.
I heal fast. Hey, never mind.
It's water. Hydrate.
All right, so Kitty.
I think I will go outside the building and see if I can get in through the windows.
Okay, Kitty, where are you going? Are you going through by the door? Are you trying to take a blank wall? Are you?
I think not by the door. I think because if anyone's in the room looking for us, it's gonna be through a door or window. So just a blank wall. She'll just phase in with Wolverine.
Okay. It takes a bit, as this is the exterior kind of steel wall gives way to the stone of the actual building. Why don't you roll me? Let's see. Roll me an agility. Remember, you do have +1 on this too.
Okay, I do.
To see how tingly it is.
Okay. 11.
Is it tingly? You can allow it. You can make it tingly if you want.
She's really tempted to make it tingly, but she's also trying to get up the ranks. And so a happy Wolverine is a good Wolverine. So she'll make it not tingly.
It does not tingle, Wolverine, as you are taken inside. As soon as you both reach inside, roll me an intuition check as you look around. Dawn, you can do senses for Wolverine if you'd like. By smell alone and by just sheer, whether it be predatory instincts, you are the first to pick out the silhouettes that are... This is an open space with what looks like a bullpen, probably a dispatch office, which you guys have kind of pooled yourselves into, and a large open area with desks and tables and like a little kitchenette. The lights are off in here too, but there's just enough coming in through the windows, casting an ambient glow, and with your combined senses, you see that there are about 17 human forms standing perfectly still in this area.
They smell like mutants.
They do not.
He'll take a couple of steps forward. Is anybody in the room with us, or did we pop into an entirely different room?
You popped, imagine this, a large area with a small room that's got 3 glass walls and then a blank wall that you pass through. It's, if we're thinking about the old sitcom Taxi, this is where Danny DeVito would hang out. This is the person that's giving out the orders for everybody to go here and go there. Only instead of chicken wire, you've got glass. And this glass is giving you a full view of the main open space of the building or this floor, and the 17 aforementioned rigidly standing figures.
Can we see their faces, or are they just silhouettes?
I mean, you can get a little closer if you want to. There's one in here with you.
Yeah, he rounds his shoulder and takes a step forward, not entirely stepping in front of Kitty, but there's a little bit of a protective urge pushing him forward immediately to get a little bit closer. And he's already sort of rolling up his fists into balls at his side.
As you round the corner using the previous roll, you see an middle-aged gentleman. He's a little overweight. He's got a rough 2 or 3 days worth of growth. His eyes blink, but he doesn't move. He doesn't register your approach. He is certainly not a supervillain.
But he smells human, right? This isn't some sort of like weird robot or something.
With a 13, I'd tell you if it smelled like a weird robot. With
Okay.
a 13, it's a human, yeah.
All right, bub, listen up. Don't yell. Don't call for help. Real quiet, like, tell us what's going on here.
I thought you wanted me to do the talking.
No.
You already started though, so you can just keep going.
Oh, yeah. Here's.
Sorry.
Damn it, kid.
Sorry.
Is he responding at all?
He is just staring straight ahead, blinking. He doesn't seem to, as you speak, his eyes don't flit to you. He doesn't seem to be like wildly gazing or trying to get your attention with just his eyes. He's just continuing to blink.
Logan will step forward and he'll try to slug him right in the solar plex, see if he can knock the wind out of him, elicit some sort of reaction.
You hit, and as you hear, like, the lips actually make a sound as air does get knocked out of him, the eyes continue to blink, and he curls around the fist, and as soon as you extract it, he stands back up straight again.
That was weird. I think they're like mind controlled or something.
Hey, your powers.
Yeah.
When you're phased out, do you know, can the professor still contact you? Can he still speak with you?
Greg.
When you phase out, you are technically on the astral plane.
That's what I thought. I was just double checking.
So,
nope.
Yeah, he cannot when you do that.
Can't do that. Technically, just not here. It's kind of like here, but not. It's astral.
Yeah, right, whatever. So...
you want me to face somebody?
I think you should try to stay phased as much as you can, and if I start to act weird, maybe try to phase me too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, if there's mind control going on, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to get taken either.
Okay. I appreciate the concern.
After this touching back and forth between Wolverine and Kitty, let's cut back outside. Let me ask Jessica and Reed. Are you just waiting to hear a report back in the garage, or are you doing things yourselves?
Did they plan to go in to scout, or was this every weirdo for themselves get in the building situation?
I'm not privy to the plan, so.
What did we decide to do, team? Did you two just like be like, see ya on the other side? Bye.
Yeah, so I think those two just took off and
We didn't have a plan.
We did not.
Cool. All right.
Spider-Man said he was going to go scout. So he said he'd be back. I was like, you want to go through a wall? Wolverine was like, yeah, let's do it. And then we did.
All right. Well, if nobody's going to help her in, Jessica's going to help herself in. There's a doorknob, I assume.
That's right. And Reed turns his fingers into little tiny skeleton keys and sticks them in the key and picks the lock. Hoping to interrupt
how long
her
does
from
that
ripping
take?
the door off.
Because if he takes more than 2 minutes to do it, she's just going to break the door handle.
Let's roll an agility and see how long it does take. Yeah, it's taken all. I mean, it's like. Yeah, you're a good like 3 minutes into this, and Reed's like, okay, now just twist this, and his fingers are all different types.
She's just gonna reach over and turn it like too much to open it and go inside.
Yes, this high security door at the Scarlet Cab Company opens easily for you as it splinters and kind of rocks off of its frame.
Now, there's no call for destruction of private property.
It got us in. Come on. She walks past him.
He follows her.
Spider-Man. Yeah, you're outside, Spider-Man, and you see everything I described to Wolverine and Kitty, but you see it through a window about 20 feet above the floor.
I'm coming in through the window.
Okay. As you kind of open it's one of the old windows that slides open. It's more of a heat-cool transfer. You slide it and open it up as something shoots past your body. You're moving at a high rate of speed.
Did any tingle go off like danger or just trying to get by me?
Something, spider sense did not go off at all.
Can I try to, direction-wise, can I try to shoot it with the web as it goes by me?
Sure. Hit do a web shooter.
9.
Okay, so with the 9, you definitely nail something. And as you hit it, we're going to say that right against the glass, as that was its trajectory, there is a splatter of webbing, and a creature is partially stuck against the glass, and it looks in with very sad eyes as the purple dragon Lockheed looks in at Shadowcat, its hands up against, as it, and you see the steam and fire kind of lick against the glass as it looks in at Kitty.
Spider-Man rubs his eyes. What is that?
Do I see Lockheed?
Yep.
Lockheed! Come here. Oh, you got webbed. Could you, Spidey, can you get him down for me, please? He's a friend. He's fine. Don't worry about him.
Okay. He rips the... This is your dragon? And he rips the thing free.
He's my friend. I mean, he's like kind of like a dragon. His name's Lockheed.
I'm sure him and Wolverine hang out all the time.
No, not really.
For all intents and purposes, it is your NPC ally that has arrived to help you out. And everybody gets an advantage from TV, who just sent in an advantage for all of us. You all currently have 3, which are going to come in super duper handy here in just a few seconds. As you're all standing there, you reconverge either through shattered destruction of property, phase through into the Danny DeVito booth, or through the window with the dragon. You have arrived here in the floor of the Scarlet Cab Company. And as you are all looking around, you see that in the center, several long mess hall tables have been kind of horseshoed around what looks to be a pit.
Uh-oh.
What's this? When you say pit, is it made out of concrete? What's the material?
You just see a hole. You have to get up close and look down to see what it's made out of.
Walk on up and take a look.
Yeah, it's a hole. It's made out of... It looks like they dug through the basement of this building and then continued through the old dirt of New Amsterdam and then into the sewers.
I'm ready for a really stinky trip.
It slopes about 30 feet down, but it's at a kind of an angle where you could walk down it. It's just pretty severe in its slope.
Well, they dug into the sewers. It keeps going.
The smell of both humans and mutants down there, or just mutants?
Just mutants.
And do we know for sure that Doug had been involved with the Morlocks down in the sewers? That he had talked to them? Just the-
Everyone at the Mansion knows of the Morlocks. Few have kind of run off to think, the grass is greener. The Morlocks, just for everyone watching, were a group of mutants that lived beneath the surface of New York City. They normally were mutants that could not pass on the surface world as being human. Somebody whose mutation had changed the color of their skin or given them tusks or wings or something that was impossible to hide. Also, 9 times out of 10, their abilities were passive in nature or didn't have a whole lot of applications. It was just different. But as far as Doug goes, that he'd kind of been aware of it and peripherally aware of it. It's unlike Doug, though, to kind of go searching out this type of situation by himself.
I think he would have told me. He's like
Right.
my best friend. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have. Well, if it's mutants that are behind this, then we're in for a fight if we go down there. They don't want us to be there. And you get a bunch of scared people and lock them down underneath ground. Give them a loaded gun. They're dangerous.
Their thing to just kidnap other mutants? Like, how about asking nicely if they want to go?
I don't know why.
I didn't think they kidnapped people, but guess
Doug's
they are.
pretty normal too, right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, there's other things down there too, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Doug is. My brother always joked about it when like the New Mutants cover would come out with the whole team. It was like, Warlock and Wolvesbane and everybody that looked like a superhero. And then there was Doug, who looked like he was in like the Mathletes. It was just, he was just this everyday kid. And his ability was to be able to decipher languages and crack codes and read body language. That was it. He's a hacker too, I think, but.
Yeah, he's good with computers. Play video games.
Omega level, but of a passive ability.
All right, well, we going down the hole then?
Of course.
Does anyone need help? So I can I kind of just walk on the air over the hole.
It's going to take forever to get the smell out of this suit.
Don't you have more suits? Do you just have one?
Febreze.
I'm not Rich Wolverine. No, I don't live in a big mansion.
Jessica's just gonna jump down.
Jessica, you land, and as you are a superhero, you're able to negotiate this hill. So,
I mean, she's really good at jumping and falling, so.
Spider-Man grabs Wolverine and jumps down with him.
Ah, damn it.
I just walk down the stairs, just.
right.
Reed follows and kind of takes up the rear, watching behind for anyone who might be following him as well.
Okay. If you're watching, roll me an intuition. Once you all get down to the bottom, for the earlier roll, there's plenty. The sewer itself runs in the center of this tunnel, of this sluiceway. There are walkways along either side. It does not smell pleasant, especially to Wolverine, who has a heightened sense of smell. This is raw and unfettered New York, Empire City shit, and you're in it.
I walk on top of it. Like I'm walking like up the ground a little bit.
Sure, you're airwalking.
Yeah.
I stay above on the
Jobs to pay
ceiling.
for new boots. Damn it.
Wait, just let me. You can let me down now. You just let me down.
Okay, Wolf. Can I call you Wolf? And he just sets him down, and he stays on the wall.
There are less shit on the walls. There is less shit on the walls.
Yes.
Probably
Okay.
makes Jessica on the verge of hurling, but
You're all
She's gonna hold it.
superheroes. I'm not going to make you roll endurance to see if you can
she's
keep
gonna
from
hold
vomiting.
it together.
Okay, so despite the smell assaulting you, Logan, you're able to. It's because it's just almost as powerful as the terrible rot. You can smell the direction of this highway, this thoroughfare that seems to be going through here, and it's heading down further into the older sewers.
He'll just kind of jerk his head and say, if they got some sort of hideout, it's this way. He'll start slogging through the slush.
Okay.
Follow.
Does it look like, just looking around, not smelling, but looking around, does it look like there are any additions, technology or cameras or anything that suggests this is anything other than sewer down here?
No. It's funny that you say that. There's no technology that seems to be apparent, no run cables or anything like that. But you do see, as you are walking along, you see trash that isn't part of the sewer. You see fast food bags. You see beer bottles that are stacked neatly and not floating or from a grate above. It almost looks like you're experiencing a dormitory or an area that would have life and generate refuse here, even in the sewers above what is coming from the world of Empire City.
How big is the tunnel? Is it?
It's big. This is old New York. Yeah, it's way too big for, back when they couldn't build things that would stand up unless they were huge. It's a good 15 feet high tube of 15 feet across with the 3-4 foot sidewalk things on either side with a river of shit in between.
Wolverine will kick a beer can out of his way and keep pushing forward at a faster pace.
Despite the fact that Pabst Blue Ribbon did nothing to Wolverine, it tumbles into the river of shit, never to resurface. And without need for a roll, as you get a little further in, Logan, you start smelling burning wood.
That's weird. A campfire or something. Fires. I guess they need to stay warm down there or cook food or something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Maybe we should act casual.
I mean, I think they're going to know once they see us.
Probably not the most casual group.
I don't know.
You're the Fabulous Five. He kind of looks over at Reed.
Very funny. Let's continue, shall we?
Push on.
It's not long before the single tunnel that you're in is beginning to widen, and you see the flicker of torch and ambient organic light ahead.
Hear any voices?
Not a one. You smell a lot of shit, though, and not the actual shit. You smell a lot of different smells.
Do I think that we're surrounded?
Well, you're in a tunnel, so technically you couldn't be surrounded here, but there's a lot of smells, Wolverine, is what I'm saying.
That's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I hate it here.
Why you don't live in a sewer? Let's keep going.
Shit, unsurprisingly. So,
who's going first if we're walking?
I'll go first.
Jess will follow.
I'll be behind Jess.
I'm above, so I'm up probably right above Wolverine's head.
I'm still bringing up the rear.
Gotcha. Roll me an intuition from roll me another one, Slack, and our seasoned drinkers move forward as every coast is clear, Mr. Fantastic.
Perfect.
I'll let you know that you have 3 advantages if you'd like to re-roll one.
Oh, that's right. I have bonuses. Okay, yeah. Let's do that. Let's use up some of our resources, and here we go. A 4.
Yep. Coast is completely clear.
Wow.
You double checked, and you were right. It is clear.
Well, part of my success as a scientist has been always double checking my work. So I am absolutely certain at this juncture
That's
that
good.
things are going to be fine.
I feel incredibly safe to have you right behind me.
You've got it on lockdown. The back is secure. As Wolverine, Spider-Man, Jessica Jones, and then right behind them, Shadowcat and Lockheed, the area in front of you opens up into a large subterranean circle cistern, but the floor is completely solid. No longer is there the dampness or the river of shit. This is packed earth down here. There are also several campfires burning and one large bonfire in the center. This is old New York light. This is the gas light that used to be organic and created shadows of movement. This is medieval, and it is also empty.
So this probably means we're gonna get ambushed, right?
Oh, yeah. I just kind of assumed that was going to happen at some point.
That's kind of usually how this shit works, right?
Well, it's not an ambush if we know it's there and we walk into it. It's springing a trap.
Cool. Yeah, good. Gonna care about those semantics whenever they drop.
What about the kids? And he'll kind of go around. If this is like a sort of a camp setup, he's going to look for any signs of. He's already seen the one magic card, so he's looking for like.
Yeah, I was going to say, look for a magic card and any signs of Doug.
Roll me an intuition.
A Game Boy,
Yeah, there could be a game.
a Virtual Boy.
Is there something written in the dirt that says, "Hey, I'm a kid. Follow this arrow"?
Right.
Yeah, we were looking for that.
Jessica's gonna look around and see if.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
Whoa! If Snail
No.
has left any little hints or
Right.
scratched anything more.
I
Roll
don't
me
see
an
any sign of Doug anywhere.
Yeah, roll me an intuition then. Very good. So, Jessica, as you're looking for something in particular, and you're looking around through here, you can see that in this packed earth, there's a sediment on top of it, and you can see where there's recently been a pass through in this area, and you can see the telltale drag of toes and feet. There's no sign or no clue that's been dropped, other than you can tell that if this is indeed Snail, she is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine, much like Ma Fratelli in the Goonies, you see like size 5s everywhere. As you look around and kind of get close, you see small footprints, ranging, obviously young children to teenage or a small man or woman, everywhere. But as that is what you're looking for, and as a 15 is like molecular level, that's all you see. As you see these small footprints everywhere.
It's weird. There's it's just the kids down here. I don't see any adult footprints.
You see
Oh.
adult footprints,
Oh.
but you're just like honed in and zoomed in on the kids. So
In that case, I don't say that. Instead, he would try to I guess follow. Like, can he get a sense for where the most recent tracks are headed towards?
almost as one, as Jessica's down looking at the movements of Snail, Wolverine, you kind of come over and shoulder beside her as you've identified the freshest line, and it is Snail's. As the two of you are kind of shoulder to shoulder looking forward in the direction of this drag.
Well, it looks like at least one of them's gone off this way recently.
That's Snail. It's gotta be.
Hey, what? Your friend, Snail, what's her power?
Her eyeballs just kind of like a snail. She's
Oh.
9.
It's young.
Yeah, kind of worried about what else she might get to do later.
Hey, I think we got a trail, guys.
Oh, cool.
Come on.
We're going to say this as you turn around, Logan, to kind of bring everybody up. As Mr. Fantastic is sitting there looking forward. Thank you very much, Lauren. As you are looking forward and Mr. Fantastic is guarding the rear from any potential hazards or tragedies that are ready to unfold, you watch as a door slides and covers the tunnel silently about 10 feet behind Reed.
Do I see anything up from the ceiling? Like
No.
trying to scout?
Wolverine's the only one that noticed the ceiling of the tunnel in which you arrived. Anything else, friends? And Lauren, what would you like to do? Is it 20 for everybody gets a +2, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Probably. Most of
Everybody, you all have +2s.
Thank you, Lauren.
Alrighty.
So the way we came from just got sealed off.
Uh-huh.
And
But
as the
there's still the-
wall closes behind his back, Reed is looking very carefully at the Magic the Gathering card, and he says out loud, perhaps it's not just the fact that it's a card, it's this specific card. I never thought that the contents of the card itself may be a clue. And he absolutely doesn't notice the fact that the
The door's closed
door
behind you.
is closed behind him.
Right.
Reed, look behind you.
Oh,
Ah, good grief.
well, I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Wouldn't be. It's not a problem for you.
Well, no, I can also help. So, just one at a time.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but you don't think there's any chance that we're being lured here? That we're the targets?
Well, the targets so far have been mutants, and, well,
Unless the targets have been bait and we're the real targets.
Shadowcat, you may be on to something.
Target bait. That's the worst kind.
I know.
Jessica, what's your instinct here? Shall we
Doesn't even
continue
matter.
forward? We seem to have lost our escape.
Well, if Kitty seems to think we can get out, then we can get out, but doesn't change the fact the kids are still gone.
They're still missing. Yeah. So,
We came all this way into the sewers through this crap. Somebody's ass is getting kicked.
I like you. Today. Let's go.
With the proclamation of an imminent or an ass kicking arriving in the very near future, everyone would hear the approach of several dozen people.
ooh.
Cool.
And at the edge of this space, opposite of where you all walked in, you would see figures begin to come forward. Some of them hunched over, some of them dragging appendages, some of them with extra appendages, some of them with the head of a lion, the wing of a butterfly, but just one. And as they all begin to creep around in a horseshoe from the farthest reaches of the darkness through the blaze of firelight to the right and left of you, they creep forward, and a woman with a severe black haircut that is spiky and an eye patch steps forward with a leather vest on and blades ringing her waist. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Who do we have here?
Do I see Doug and any of the people with her?
Do we see our kids?
You can all roll me intuition checks if you're looking for the kids. There don't seem to be any small figures here.
Okay. I also remember what Wolverine told me earlier, and I'm going to try to kind of just phase ever so slightly out. So if there is mind control, hopefully it won't affect me, maybe. Intuition checks. Oh, my first good one. He's probably not here.
You try introducing yourself first.
There are no kids present that you can see. No Doug, no Franklin, no Snail. Me? This is my place. These are my people. You can call me Callisto.
Well,
Look to the
Callisto.
others like, do you know who the hell this is?
Callisto, you're standing in the middle of a trail that we're on. You are standing between us and some missing children. Care to explain yourself and how you became mixed up in our investigation?
You're standing in the middle of my home, rubber band. I ask the questions and you answer them.
Maybe. What are your questions?
You're searching for kids? Children? Who?
Kids that got dragged off by folks in a red cab. You know anything about that?
I don't drive a cab. They revoked my license.
That's probably a good thing. You seen anybody take any kids through here?
No.
Is she lying?
Yeah, is she lying?
How are you going to determine that, my friends?
Oh.
Intuition, psyche.
Yeah, can I get a read on her a little bit? Just
Intuition from Jessica. You can use your sniffer if you want to, Wolverine, since that's...
That's how he solves all his problems. Well, half of his problems.
by smell.
Yeah.
She's a tough one.
She's lying, but there's something behind it. It's an odd smell. Definitely a different. Her senses fluctuate when she said that, but there's something more to it.
Listen, Callisto. Don't want to hurt any of you if we don't have to. If you don't give us a reason, don't want to mess up your perfect little lives down here in the sewers.
Well, you...
But this man here, he's missing a child. Me, I'm missing a student.
My best
And
friend's
she's missing a friend. Yeah.
I'm missing a party.
These are such sad stories we're hearing, everyone. Sad stories. All you've come this way to tell the creatures and freaks that live in the earth your tales of woe. How troublesome. How tragic. You can leave once you pay the toll.
What's the toll?
Blood.
Excuse me?
I don't weigh enough to donate.
We don't take blood from mutants. You'll do. And she nods towards Jessica.
I'm gonna have to pass.
We're not leaving. And we ain't paying no tolls.
You're gonna have to come and try and take it if you want it.
Oh, I intend to.
I don't think you guys know who we're dealing with here. We're the Fabulous Five, and we're about ready to take it.
It's not.
It's what we are. It's what we are.
That's not a trademark name. Now, ma'am. And Reed kind of swoops into the situation, like the front half of his torso comes up into the front of the group between Callisto and Jessica. Now, there's no cause for alarm here, young lady. We're here merely investigating a situation which could be beneficial to you as well. Merely let us pass and investigate your tunnels here, and we'll be gone quickly, henceforth.
Yeah, whatever he said. Henceforth, or
No,
who even says that right now?
this is not your world, Mr. Richards. She looks behind her, and Reed, you begin to feel nauseous.
Look, ma'am, I really don't want to intrude upon your subculture, which I fully respect as a valid choice in our modern society.
Roll me an endurance. You're able to pull yourself back before you feel yourself not just vomit, but lose control of your elasticity.
Reed steps back 2 steps and shrinks back into himself at the back of the group.
You
There's
see
some sort of power dampening going on here. Some sort of I felt very nauseous.
Okay.
Let me rephrase. She pays the toll, or none of you leave.
Listen, you slime-sucking piece of gutter trash. None of us are giving you anything. And you hear the schnicked of adamantium claws popping out of Wolverine's knuckles. And he raises it up to his face. He takes a step forward menacingly, not yet attacking, but trying to see if he's able to intimidate her at all.
She steps forwards, and you see 2 long blades appear in her hand, one gripped underhanded, the other above. I don't take blood from mutants. These 3, though. I don't mind draining them. We can go if you want to, Runt, but I'm worried that it would end badly for you. And Wolverine, as you look down, you feel nauseous, and you see the blood continue to flow from your claws where they punch through your skin.
There's a flicker of something like fear just for a moment, and a little more wild than a normal person's fear in his eyes. So he realizes that his healing isn't working like it should. But it does not deter him in this moment. Instead, he grits his teeth and he says, well, lucky for me, I do take blood from mutants. And he'll slash at her.
Okay, absolutely. Go right ahead and roll an attack.
And I'm going to use a +2 on this because I have them. So that's going to make it a 10.
Okay, so with a 10 as a success, how do you attack Callisto?
So this isn't a killing blow. This isn't, he is holding back a little bit because they are mutants and he does feel pity for them. So he just takes his claws and he'll bring it across his face and outward, trying to slash her in the face and again, try to cowl her. That if it hits, it does 2 slashing damage.
Okay, it does hit. It does the damage. I'd like everyone else to roll me an intuition check as you watch the scene unfold. Kitty and Spidey, as the two of you are watching, you see the entire backdrop of audience mutants flicker as Wolverine hits Callisto. And for a moment, you only see a handful of figures among the dozens that you saw before. And from some indeterminate spot in this mob that you now see again, you hear a, "Oh shit, fine." And the entire crowd of Morlocks dissolves except for Callisto, who stands rigid with the wound bleeding, her eyes simply blinking. And you see step from the shadows a man with long hair and a mustache and a rough beard, covered in what looks like bolted and manufactured armor. "Well, this was going to happen one way or the other. Marauders, bring me their scalps." My friends, I would like to know right now what you would like to do as people explode from everywhere. These are not the absent Morlocks or the passive aggressive. These are people that seem to be battle hardened.
You sitting here with me?
Kitty's gonna into the floor with Lockheed.
Ooh.
How many again?
You're looking at 9.
Okay.
All right.
I think
But while
Jessica's
she's gonna make a note of where one of them are, so she can be traveling through the floor to come up
Ooh.
at one of them.
I think Jessica's gonna give a quick look to Logan and like, are we gonna fight or what? What's the split second plan? Because he looks like the type who might also fight.
You see his eyes flicker to yours like for half a second, and it's not, his eyes don't say much, but you hear a
Good enough for me. She's gonna get ready to knock him, sock him, whichever one is nearby.
Okay, so as this happens, you see Spray kind of walking out. The aforementioned man that is wearing the loose armor, you see and hear and feel a breeze emanate from a silver-haired man beside as he begins to spin in a rapid tornado-like whirl. And with a maniacal... he lifts up off the ground and begins to spin as glittering metallic objects are twirling in the maelstrom. You see another man step forward, small in stature, just a little bit taller than Wolverine, and as he walks out, he rams what looks like a harpoon in the ground, and electricity lances and licks up it as he fuels whatever it is he's wielding. Several others are in the back, and they continue to maintain a distance. One, a green-haired woman with swirls on a very eccentric outfit. And I'd like you all to roll endurance as a wave of nausea hits you.
Even me who's in the ground?
Not you,
Okay.
Shadowcat.
I'm going to use an advantage on mine. I did.
You are all able to fight off the effects of vertigo, except for Jessica Jones, who, for the first time ever, probably is the only person to hydrate themselves by vomiting. As the alcohol leaves your system, it can no longer perform and execute its dehydrating nature. As you vomit for a moment, it doesn't compromise you, but they begin to advance. But, Wolverine, you smell something. something very familiar. And one figure strides out between all of them, fur bristling from his shoulders. Well, there you are, runt. As Sabretooth walks forward. I'm doing this one for free, Logan.
His eyes had gone to Vertigo for a moment, realizing finally what this nauseous feeling is. But when he hears Sabretooth's voice, he spins around, his claws already out, and he says, well, looks like you're not going to make any money on your last job ever. And he kicks off of his back foot, jumping over Kitty Pryde's head as she pops on the floor. And he's going to leap through the air. This will be like whenever his turn is, but he's going to leap through the air with his claw out, driving it straight towards Sabretooth.
And the rest of you would see Sabretooth run and take a few steps and launch into the air as well, as the two creatures are flying at one another with their claws out. What is everyone going to do? Everyone made their advancement from the enemy, so I want to know. I know Kitty's in the floor. Jessica, you vomited, but you can act. Reed, Spidey, what are you guys going to do?
Reed is in the back of the group, and he immediately forms his hand into a giant hammer fist and slams it through the air towards the woman in green.
Okay,
trying to knock her out. What am I rolling?
I think you have. Don't you have an arm attack or elastic? Blah blah blah. Yeah. Elongation. Roll me elongation. Oh, 13 is super heroic. So tell me how you do just that as you hit Vertigo. Not thinking that you would survive or be able to press through her abilities, she takes the fist full force.
So the fist comes at her head, wraps around the back of her head, and clocks her in the side of the face from the other side that it appeared that I was attacking from. Knocks her cold to the ground.
So Vertigo, in the matter of moments, goes flying and smashes up out of the fight. Spidey, what do you do?
Now, who all do we have on the field? Harpoon, Scalp Hunter, is Blockbuster there?
Yeah, speaking meta, you see Sabretooth, Riptide, Scalp Hunter, and Vertigo just went down. There are shadows in the back that have been stopped by Scalp Hunter, but they seem to be preparing to attack.
Is Riptide spinning around?
He certainly is.
He's going for him. He's going to take out Riptide.
Okay.
So he's going to catapult himself at him. What would you like me to make?
If you're making just a movement to get into him, I'll definitely allow you to do. I'm assuming you're just doing double webs and then
he's going to launch himself at Riptide.
Okay, then just go ahead and make an attack as you are clearing and you're able to get to Riptide, who is standing right beside Scalp Hunter.
Make a fighting.
Yep, or whatever you have as far as an attack ability. I'll have you up right now. Let me see.
Yeah, I'll go. Unarmed strike. I don't know what that would.
You can do fighting. Go ahead and do fighting too, if you want. That's
okay.
Just an overall general one.
And I'm going to +2 that. I'm going to use an advantage on that.
Sure thing.
So that'll be a 10.
Okay, so with a 10, you succeed in doing just that. How much damage do you deal to... let's see, I think we said the Spider-Man... I can take care of that. You're able to hit... How do you hit Riptide as you go into this whirling maelstrom of flesh and metal?
He flies right at him. He's going for his head. And he's going to just double punch him right into him.
Okay, you do that.
That you know, he knows this is no time for jokes now. It's just gotten serious. He said, "You need to take." So I was good. So he's like, "Spin on out of here!" Boom.
Okay, there is a bit of a disappointment as the quip doesn't really catch as much of an insult, but you hit Riptide, and for a moment the wind stops, and you can see the blur of motion of the body, but he shakes his head as he's able to spin and kick up again, but it takes a moment for him to generate the power and the force and velocity that he once had. You have hurt Riptide. Anything else you'd like to attempt? You are now amidst the marauders as you have launched yourself into them.
He would probably go to the defensive, ready to, try to dodge whatever's going to come out.
Great. Jessica?
Yay. So we have, it sounds like one is engaged and then Mr. Fantastic straight up knocked out Vertigo, right?
She's out. Yep.
Okay. So that leaves Big Guy and Scalp Hunter, right?
Well, there's a bunch. There's a guy with the harpoon whose name is Harpoon. There's Scalp Hunter. There's Sabretooth, who seems to be going after Wolverine.
Yeah, we're gonna let them duke that out together. They seem engaged.
And Spinny Boy Riptide just got his bell rung a bit, but he's still standing up. He seems the worse for wear, but he's still on his feet.
I'll go and help out Spidey and take a run at him to try and catch him by the neck while he's still a little bit wrung and slam his head back down.
It's very Colossus of you. Go ahead and roll me a fighting.
Sure. Oops. Wrong one.
That's fine.
I think they're the same, right?
It should be the same, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, as you hit, you do a knockout blow to Riptide. However, the consequence is you are now among the Marauders with Spider-Man. But as you grab hold, tell us exactly how you take Riptide from his spin to his rinse.
Okay. Yeah, she just jumps at him, grabs him, punches him down into the ground, probably hard enough that a bit of a crater sort of cracks up from the impact. And then she just sort of pushes him down to get herself back up on her feet. And is ready for the next round.
And I believe that is everyone, unless, Kitty, are you emerging? Or are you getting...
was walking through the ground to just try to benefit from cover, as the ground is great cover most of the time. So she wants to kind of pop up. She kind of skimmed before she went under to see if anyone was kind of standing to the side of the group. And she's going to try to pop up and let Lockheed do his little breath attack.
Here's what you see. As you get behind the row of front row into the shadowy back row, you are able to see a massive hulking figure with a bald head and a beard and wearing like what looks like a wrestler's singlet. And he's being held back by a woman wearing a metallic suit. And she's saying, just wait. Hey, just wait a second. Let them do what they're going to do. Just watch. Just wait. And there's a man in what looks like a three-piece suit, kind of leaning against the wall, smoking a cigarette. And there is a man that looks, or a being that looks like it is made of crystal.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not gonna go for the big guy that's got a lady holding him back. She's holding him back. I'm gonna let her hold him back. That sounds good. But I will. So there's a guy smoking a cigarette. I'm gonna pop out of the ground, like right next to him, and say, "Need a light?" And then Lockheed's gonna go and do his little breath.
All right, go ahead and roll me a fighting.
Well, Lockheed has his own thing. So
I have Lockheed ready. If
Okay.
you roll your, I will allow you to do your advantages and your +2 for
Yes.
Lockheed's attack. Lockheed's attack will do 3 damage if it hits.
okay, so you just roll like an unarmed strike for Lockheed.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. All right, and I will use an advantage on this.
Okay. Super duper successful. As explain to me how you flamethrower scrambler, who is in all intents and purposes a normal human with the ability to F up superpowers.
Oh, that's that guy? Cool. So basically what it looks like is I'm underground and I go, need a light? And then he's gonna go and he flames them. And then after he does, I take the cigarette. I'm like, just kidding, smoking's bad for you. And I throw it down.
He doesn't hear that last part as he is screaming, trying to put his hair out as everything is burning as he's running, and everybody that was in the back turns and looks as you're sitting there. Smoking's bad for you, and you flick it as they all orient themselves on Kitty.
Can I face back through the floor? That's probably a next round thing, huh?
That's probably a next round thing, yeah.
Okay.
So, let's go back up to Wolverine. At the top of this round, we have a clash in midair between Sabretooth and Wolverine. Sabretooth's going to make a strike. Wolvie, you make your strike, and we'll see how it all plays out.
All right, so yeah, he's diving through the air, claws aimed directly at Sabretooth's chest, not holding back this time. And I'm going to use another one of my +2 bonuses on this one. So that makes it a 13.
So a 13 is super heroic, and I'm assuming that this is a 4 with the intention to kill.
This is a 4 with the intention to kill, and I think if he puts his claws through Sabretooth's chest, he calls out, "Creed," and then tries to grab him midair and throw him aside, like throw him off of his claws towards the smallest of the enemies nearby. That's his goal.
And that is, with a 13 plus, is super heroic. So who are you trying to aim him at? You have Scalp Hunter and you have Harpoon in throwing range of Sabretooth.
I think Harpoon's pretty fun. I'm going to throw him at Harpoon.
As Sabretooth flies away from you with the extraction of the claws from his stomach, you realize that as he's flying through the air, his teeth are smiling, even though they're splattered with his own blood. And even though he's traveling in air, you see him lick his own claws as they are drenched in blood. And you feel the pain lance just between your ribs, as if he knows metal against claw doesn't work, but claw between metal does. You're going to take 3 harm as he takes 4 harm as this clash in the air happens. And as he hits Harpoon, Harpoon is not able to attack as he turns towards Jessica Jones and Spider-Man. Instead, we are going to have Scalp Hunter pull out an assault rifle, fire the gun point blank at Spidey and Jessica Jones. I'm going to need, since you are both there, make me agility rolls to see kind of who gets out of the way. And
Jess is gonna push Spidey out of the way.
Well, Spider-Man would probably push Jessica out of the way. He would probably be quicker at it too.
They just push each other out.
But
Yeah,
you
he would
can't
try to
take
grab
a
her and
bullet,
move
friend.
with her.
This is
Is
like
that
the end of
possible?
Chicago. You guys are like leading in front.
Yeah.
No, I get to find him out. Right.
He would try to grab her and dodge as he can.
Fair. She'd roll with it then and just roll faster.
Yeah, like do
All
a
right.
he'd do like a one-handed kind of like flip with her.
What the hell?
You're already nauseous.
All right. So any advantages or +2s here, friends, as you're rolling agility?
Yeah, he's gonna. I'll use another advantage.
Yeah, I'll go.
I'm gonna really super this thing. Yeah, that'll be a 12. Okay.
Guess
Okay. So
I don't need it.
As the two of you get out of the way, Scalp Hunter does shoot, but it appears, since you're both trying to get each other out of the way, Spider-Man, you're going to take 1 harm, and Jess, you're going to take 2, as you feel the bullet dig into your back and kind of splatter against you as the metal runs. And as Scalp Hunter realizes that his forces are going down quick, you see him turn back and say, "Blockbuster!" And you all feel as this massive person appears, flanked by a woman in metal known as Arclight. Reed. Let me see.
Now I know what took down Ben.
As they walk forward, we're going to say, Wolverine, you're still in the air. Shadowcat, you're still behind. But Arclight bangs her fists together, and I am going to need endurance checks from Jessica, Spidey, and Reed.
I'm gonna I'll use that last advantage because these are +2 in the last one. 14 for me.
Well,
Okay, both Spider-Man and Jessica Jones are going to take 1 harm, but you keep your feet. Reed, this is an energy-based attack, so you do have armor associated with this. You will take 2 harm, but that will probably be reduced by your armor, but you do lose your feet as your elasticity kind of liquefies as you hit the ground against this sonic blast. Blockbuster runs forward and takes a swing at Spider-Man, connects, and Spidey, I need you to take 3 harm as you get thrown back by the punch of Blockbuster. And as Reed drops to the ground, the woman known as Arclight looks over, pulls something out of her metal suit from a hidden compartment or pocket that doesn't seem to exist, and brings it up to her face and licks the piece of orange brick. What would you all like to do? They've ignored you for now, Shadowcat. The Crystal Man is trying to put out Scrambler.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't have that. Is there anything on the ground in here? There's a bunch of stuff on the ground in here, isn't there?
It's packed earth, dirt, yeah.
But wasn't there like fire stuff and kids stuff kind of laying around, like junk, garbage and stuff?
There's logs and burning implements, but no toys or anything like that.
Yeah, okay. Can I grab a stick
Sure.
and walk up to Prism and say, "Just no, you can't put him out," and I just want to phase it into him.
Wait, hold on. You're gonna phase a stick into
A
who?
stick into Prism. I don't know what effects it's gonna have, but he needs to stop putting out the other guy's hair. He can take care of himself. Stop, drop, and roll. No one ever taught him that in school. It's his problem.
Okay. I need you to roll me an agility check to see if you can do this without doing something.
Okay. I'm going to use another advantage, and let's use that +2. 'Cause why not?
Oh, okay. Shit. All right.
Stop putting it out on fire. I'm just gonna phase it into him. So agility, advantage, 6 plus 3, so 9.
Okay. So with a 9, you do just that. But as you do it, Prism begins to scream, and you see kind of spider web fractures appear along the side as he... But as he moves away, even though the fire is still consumed now, a lot of his burned head, Scrambler reaches out and touches your wrist as you do this. I need you to take 4 harm as you are rocketed back and your phasing ability ceases to function.
Ow. Well, at least your hair's still on fire.
Yeah, he's major league effed up, but he's still up.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Alrighty, so that go back to the top of the order. Wolverine, what would you like to do as you see your teammates getting pounded around here?
So he's still going flying through the air from Sabretooth's strike, and he hits the sewer water and tumbles several times and pushes back up to his feet and looks around and smells, and he'll look over and he'll see Kitty there, like just having been knocked pretty far away. Who is it that's turned on Kitty right now? Who's threatening her?
It looks like, to meta it, it's Prism and Scrambler.
And are both of their backs turned towards Logan?
They're kind of 3/4 turned.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he knows who they are, but Scrambler looks less intimidating, right? He just looks like a guy.
He looks like
So-
a burned up stockbroker.
Yeah. So he'll sort of smell, see Kitty there, and then just go loping, like hand over hand, like almost like a four-legged animal for a second, until he gets up enough momentum that he'll just charge straight behind, and he'll try to take Prism from the back and just thrust his claws inside inside her like kidney.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Okay. This is him not holding back again.
You just make sure you tell me if you're not trying.
If he does hold, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do.
Let's
I'm
make
gonna,
it for him.
yeah, I'm gonna use an advantage here too, because that's cool. Oh, it's a 7 both times.
Okay, so you do in fact attack, and you see Prism go down as the splinter becomes a full. It sounds like someone dropped a chandelier. As pieces of Prism begin to drop apart, he is susceptible to any type of physical attack, which is why he was in the goddamn back. But as he falls and begins to kind of crack and break, very similar to what happened to Kitty, the stockbroker reaches out and grabs hold of your arm as the wounds that Sabretooth did begin to pump fresh, as no healing factor begins to coagulate or heal, as wounds begin to bleed from your hands, as your sense of smell perhaps blessedly cuts off, as your ability to heal yourself with your healing factor is gone for the next round. And he seems proud of himself, though burnt.
As he's bleeding and he feels weak for a moment, stuck there with him, he'll just say, "Get away from her."
You see what you did to me, man? As he points to the side of his burned up face. As we cut back to Jessica
That
Jones and
was lucky.
Spidey. What do the two of you want to do?
All right, so where are we in relation to the rest?
You are basically diving away from Scalp Hunter. So it's Scalp Hunter, Arclight, and Blockbuster charging towards you all. You have 3, and then behind them is Wolverine and Kitty. Off to the side is a crumpled up Sabretooth and Harpoon, though there is a laugh coming from the pile. And that's about it.
Okay. Well, they're coming at us, so that seems like something we should deal with. So, she's just gonna get back on her feet, probably yank Spidey to his feet, and go charging in to meet whoever is at the head of the line fists first.
Go ahead and hit that with Scrambler. Or, I mean, Scalp Hunter. Scalp Hunter.
Oh, I was gonna say, if I were going for Scrambler, I'm gonna throw something at him. Thank you very much.
Right.
Which, by the way, is there anything throwable just for reasons?
There's a
for
lot of
later?
wood.
Okay.
Bunch of
Glass sticks.
Cool. All right, so fighting, right? Or unarmed strike?
Unarmed strike for you. I think it's the same thing, and whenever it
Okay.
works itself out.
Is there a fork? Can I attack the scrambler with a fork?
Okay, so yeah, with a 9, you're able to crack Scalp Hunter as he drops down to one knee, You could feel and see the teeth loosen and drop from his mouth as they clatter against the harder elements of his suit as you put in at least 3 trips to the dentist for Scalp Hunter. God damn it! As he looks down and blood pours from his mouth. Spidey, what do you do?
Spider-Man is now sees this as real. This is getting real serious. He is going to attempt to distract by dodging around Blockbuster and Arclight. Hopefully they'll focus completely on him so he can, kind of keep them occupied while the rest of the team tries to take out the other combatants. He sees that these two are definitely nothing to sneeze at here. So he's going to try to, make Blockbuster and Arclight miss him as he tries to dance in between them. Maybe try to shoot some webs at him.
So you're
he's going to try to do anything to just slow him down.
Okay. You're going to hinder their movements, but not like do damage.
He's going to do anything to keep them occupied on him, and I'm going to spend karma too to heal myself if I can.
Okay, that's an action that will take your entire turn if you.
Oh,
do
okay.
So.
Well, then he's going to just attempt to dodge.
Okay, then roll your web shooters and go from there, and we'll see what the roll dictates as your ability to do what you asked.
11.
Fantastic. You do exactly that as you have now engaged both Arclight and Blockbuster, and we're going to say that you deal 1 damage to each of them as you kind of have them running into each other as you dance and jump and flip and kind of slide in between both of them as they're spinning. Watch what you're doing. And then Blockbuster's just going full force trying to hit you again.
Let's wall shoot too, and he's kind of trying to bring them into each other too, where he can maybe like crash them into each other.
And just that is going on as, let's see, who hasn't gone this turn? Reed, what are you going to do, buddy?
Well, Reed has learned in his many tangles with Bruce Banner and trying to calm down the Hulk that the easiest way to take out a large, unstoppable object is to cut off the air supply. So he turns his body into a large blanket with the number 4 in the middle of it and wraps himself completely around Blockbuster, trying to grapple him and cut off his supply of oxygen.
Fantastic. Make an elongation roll for me, please. And you have 2 +2s. If you
I
want
would like to
this.
use them.
Good. So that is a 12. Which is an absolute success as Spidey is dancing with Arclight and Blockbuster. You see some of the firelight get blocked out as Mr. Fantastic cloaks and drapes, and instead of Blockbuster, you see an emblazoned 4 where the face of the enraged being used to be. And for a moment, you see Reed struggling as he begins to cut off the air supply of Blockbuster. Love it. Kitty, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm a little hurt. I'm at 2 out of 6 HP. I'm not the halest and hardiest adventurer here. Hero here. So she's against the wall right now. And, I'm gonna kind of... Is there a brick? Did I dislodge a brick when I got thrown against the wall?
We'll say you did. There's a brick
Okay.
there.
Can I throw a brick at this punk? Can I throw a brick at Scrambler?
Sure.
Scrambler.
Are you going to get in close and like brick him, or are you throwing the brick? Because bricking would be...
I don't have my phase powers back yet, because it's... I don't think. So, because it's... Nope. So... well, if I don't have my face powers anyway, I might as well brick him, right? Like, just...
That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to brick him, and I'm gonna use my advantage to do so. Last advantage.
Okay.
So that's just gonna be an unarmed strike, I assume.
Yep.
Because he just looked at Logan, so maybe he's not looking at me for a sec, so...
Oh!
A 13. Take it.
Okay, so with a 13, it's a superhuman, super heroic result. You tell me how you take down Scrambler, and I'll tell you what happens in addition.
Okay, so she kind of like kind of coughs a minute to get that, because she just got, imagine she got winded getting hurled against a brick wall. Kind of goes, oh, picks up a brick, feels a spot that's going to be bruised later. Kind of, like tells Lockheed to just fly behind her for a sec. She don't want him to get hurt. And then she's just going to walk up while this punk is just kind of looking proud of himself. You see what she did to my face? And on the other side of his face, because that's the part that's not looking at me, I'm just going to whack him with the brick. And kind of look up at Logan and shrug.
And that's exactly what happens. So as Logan, you see what you did to my face? You just see him removed from your field of vision as the haymaker brick punch that is coming from Kitty Pryde hits, and you see Scrambler go down in a heap, lying among the shattered crystal of Prism. And Kitty, as you look down, you see that the brick that you picked up is a shard of orange brick that seems to have been dropped by Arclight. And as you get hit and knocked down, both Kitty and Wolverine feel their powers kick back on as healing factor and phase ability come back online.
That guy sucked, right?
Logan stumbles almost into Kitty and has to stabilize himself for a second as his strength comes back, and he says, "Yeah, he was a real dick. Good job, kid."
Okay, and go right ahead, bud. You have something?
Oh no, are we back up to the top? Are we still fighting?
Yeah, they have to do something now.
Yeah,
so,
I can't phase in at the end of that turn because my phase ability, so I'm just gonna sit here. I'm up behind Wolverine though.
Okay, agility wise, I need an agility roll from Spider-Man. And Jess, you're clear right now as Spider-Man has taken both of these people. Scalp Hunter is getting up from the prone position.
That's
so
a 15.
He's out. Okay. You're able to avoid any harm as they begin to throw punches as you are dancing in between these two with Mr. Fantastic on the head as it's Blockbuster swinging wildly.
Whoop, miss me.
Looking to be Arclight actually takes a step back, knowing she does not want to get hit by a wild punch. However, I'm gonna need let's have Jessica Jones do roll me an agility as Harpoon throws a harpoon as he gets up.
Just in case.
Okay. With a 9, you are able to move out of the way. You still take 1 harm as the electricity lances off as it passes by you, blistering the side of your skin. Sabretooth turns and leaps towards Logan. Give me an agility check from Logan as your old buddy Victor.
Back.
Yeah, your old buddy Victor's coming back in. With a 7, you're going to take 4 harm as he is going for a kill shot as well, as he rakes from the top of your scalp, down the back of your head, over your neck, and down your back, slicing through leather jacket, flesh, to the spine, as he turns and again licks his claws. There's one thing about you, Runt. You're always tasty. And every Scalp Hunter's getting up. Yep, that's good for right now. At the top of this round, though, Jessica Jones, you hear, Jessica, help.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm assuming that sounds like snail.
Roll me an intuition.
Okay.
And you do have a +2 left.
Okay. I would like to use that if I may.
Yep. Off to the side, now that Scrambler and Prism are both down, you see a door that was not there before. And you see rows and rows of what appear to be interlocked cages. They're little more than something you would transport a pet in. Dog cages, if you will. And you see Snail's hand reaching out as both of her eyes are looking at a right angle around the bars. And you see all fingers coming out of the bars in this huge row of stacked crates reaching, and you hear perhaps the only one that does, help us, help us, help us, please, help, please, help, help, as it echoes in your mind.
Shit. Well, so much for the fight. She's gonna charge in that direction.
As you get in, you see what looks like a release lever to unlock these cages.
Okay. Sure.
Let's leave that right there for now as we cut back to Reed. Roll me a strength check as Blockbuster is trying to rip you off of him. It doesn't work as he
7.
stretches, and
11.
you feel him. You feel the gasps of unfilled lungs as he is struggling beneath the blanket that you have put on top of him. But as he grabs you, your flesh just goes and stretches with his meaty fists, the same fists that knocked your friend Ben Grimm down and almost out. But he can't find purchase with you, Mr. Fantastic. Do you want to continue your hold? And if you do, just roll me another elongation.
Yeah, I want to continue the hold and see if I can choke this guy out. I'm at least keeping him away from the rest of the pack while they take on the rest of the team. Yeah!
And that's just about as well as you can do it. As the rest of you would see Blockbuster drop to one knee. As he is continuing to pull at this melted human that is stretching away, but he cannot find what he needs the most right now, air. Spidey, what are you going to do? You're now one-on-one with Arclight.
Yes,
Scout Hunter has got
Spidey
him.
will do like a bounce off a Blockbuster, and he's going to launch himself straight into her. You know, do whatever he can do.
You tell me what you want to do and roll that roll.
He wants to. I probably would like to contain her. That's probably what I'd like to do, like with webs.
Roll them web slingers then.
Ooh, I'll take it. Well, I'll stick with that.
You begin to wrap her up as she flexes, and with a sonic kind of crash, you see your webbing just disintegrate off of her as she cracks her neck and turns to look at you. Wolverine, Kitty, what would you like to do?
I don't want to distract Logan while he's fighting Sabretooth. This seems personal, so I'd like to just phase into the floor and spend a karma point to gain a health point.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. So as Kitty catches her breath, Wolverine?
Yeah, Wolverine like has to pull off his jacket because it's been shredded, and he's like, "That was my favorite jacket, Creed." And he thinks about all of the times that he's crossed Sabretooth in his life. He's bleeding down his back, but his healing factor is kicking back in, and he pulls his claws back out of his hands again, and he's about to attack him again. And right before he does, he thinks about Kitty. He thinks about the fact that she's watching, that he's sort of in charge of her, that he's struggled with taking the appropriate level of action his entire life when faced with violent conflict. And right before he tries to drive his blade straight up into Victor's jaw, instead he changes his target and he just tries to headbutt him with his forehead, which is adamantium His skull is adamantium, but he's going to try to crack him right into his chin and see if he can knock him out with non-lethal force.
Roll me an unarmed strike then.
And I'm going to use an advantage. Can I stack advantage with +2? Can I do both in one roll, or just do I have to choose one?
Oh, hell yeah. I'll let you do it.
Oh, I'm going to do it. So yeah, that'll be a 14.
Okay, so I will say that you hit him with enough force to do 4 damage. Even though you're going for just a knockout, it's vicious and violent, and it's enough to stagger Sabretooth back. But even as he staggered back, seeing stars as his blasted face begins to knit, his own skull fractured in that delivery, he looks as the blood pours into his eyes and pulls the irises from white to red. What are you holding back now? Is that what you've become?
You're not worth it. And he just kind of readies himself. If Sabretooth's not out, then he shifts his weight back a little bit and he's preparing.
As Sabretooth delivers this line and as you get ready, you see a blast of ice strike the side of Sabretooth as he turns, his hair matted with crystals, and you can see the frostbite each leaching up into his lips, turning a corner of them from a healthy color to a bright light blue as he screams and roars and looks to his side. And from a side door, 4 dozen small mutants come running out as you see light and fire and the tremors of the earth, the bending of reality, none of it controlled, most of it just haphazard and violent, emotional, the rearings of mutation amidst the strangeness of puberty, but they are focused on who they know are their jailers. And as they begin to land blow after blow of sheer mutant adolescent rage, a swirling disc appears as Scalp Hunter grabs something on his arm and begins to fire netting and cables to everyone. Prism, Scrambler, as he begins to back towards this glowing and swirling sphere, this disc. And as he steps 1 foot through, the elemental blasts going all over, behind him, you all can see what appears to be an aboriginal man spinning a bull roar over his head in a completely different area of the world. They are not out yet. What would you guys like to do?
Can I phase up through the floor next to Scalp Hunter and just...
You're gonna pull him into the floor?
Yeah!
Are you... Now, just for everybody that doesn't know, you can do that and it doesn't hurt Scalp Hunter.
Uh-huh.
If you let him go when he's in the floor, it could potentially kill him.
Yeah.
So, as Wolverine is going less Wolverine, is Kitty going more Wolverine?
I think at this point, because he's got people in nets and he's dragging them to a portal, she doesn't want him to go. This guy's got to face justice. These people stole her best friend and kidnapped one of her, heroes' kid and other stuff. And so I think for now, she's just pulling him under.
But not letting him go.
I don't think she's letting him go yet.
Okay.
I think she's just she's holding him there because we're both phased. He can't do anything really anyway. So.
Yep. As he begins to phase, the cables that he has go slack, as all the rest of the Marauders are left to their own devices to get towards the door. Arclight begins to run. Blockbuster has no idea what's going on. Harpoon begins to run towards the door, and Sabretooth retreats as well.
Spider-Man's gonna on Poon.
Harpoon.
Web shoot
Okay.
him.
He's
Web
gonna shoot the. Where are you
Okay.
going, Ishmael? That's what he's gonna say. Where are you going, Ishmael?
Call me. Okay.
Yes.
Web shooter him.
9.
Okay, you're able to hit him a bit as you kind of turn him awkwardly, but he's still moving towards the area. You have slowed him down, though. I'm assuming, Jessica, you're now, Snail is beside you as you've released these kids. They are pouring out, doing their best to turn the tide, which they have. Anything else you would like to do?
Just make sure she's okay. Like, look and see if she's got any injuries or anything that are particularly bad, other than, being scared.
As you're looking her over, her hand reaches up and touches your cheek, and she goes, I wasn't scared. I could see you coming. And when her eyes look up, you realize for the first time that she probably wasn't lying, as the gaze of Snail goes through the cement, through the dirt, up into the sky, as she herself can see through any inanimate object. And she turns back and looks at Jessica in front of her.
Well, damn. It's a pretty good trick you've got there. She just kind of gives him a ruffle on the head and grabs her by the hand to lead her away from the rest.
She is going to hug Jessica. Does Jessica allow that?
She will hug back in a very put upon, totally not into this shit kind of way.
As you're hugging into your hair, you hear a whisper, I knew you were a mutant.
Yeah, well, keep it under your hat.
And you feel her head turn into yours. Wolverine, everyone else has acted. Unless, Reed, you're going to break your blockbuster hold, which...
So I still have him wrapped up, right?
Oh, he's wrapped up and on one knee.
Good, because this is one blockbuster that I'm putting out of business for good. Patented Reed Richards dad humor for you.
Roll me one more elongation.
I'd like to use my advantage so I don't screw this up.
Sure. Yeah. You can't. After that joke, you can't. But I told you couldn't.
Yes!
One knee becomes two knees, becomes two knees and a hand, becomes a pile as consciousness leaves the being and beast known as Blockbuster. And though he was able to fell a thing, you can't face Fantastic. And Reed, as Blockbuster goes to sleep, you hear, Dad! And Franklin is running towards you.
Oh, I turn and face Franklin immediately and wrap myself around him many times.
The greatest hug in the history of hugs takes place. But as the marauders turn to run, a few of them compromised, one being drug into the fucking floor by Kitty. Wolverine, what do you do?
So the one that Kitty has is are they entirely in the floor? Are they down? They vanished from sight?
Yeah, Scalp Hunter did the whole drowning man thing. You saw a hand shoot up for a second, but he is beneath the level of the floor.
Who else is vulnerable right now? Anybody?
Harpoon, Arclight, and Sabretooth are running towards the glowing disc.
Wolverine's gonna bend down. And so the disc it's like a machine. Or is it just a portal?
It's a portal. Yeah, it's just a disc floating in the air, and it seems to have energy spinning around the outside, sort of like a MCU Doctor Strange teleportation circle. And in the background, Wolverine could smell different scents, the wind, being vegetation, not rot of the sewers, not civilization, more of a wilderness feel. And there is an Aboriginal man spinning a bull roar over his head just to the center and 10 feet back from this portal.
Wolverine's gonna bend down and pick up that orange brick that Kitty used. He's gonna kind of hold it up in his hands, flip it over, and then he's gonna chuck it through the portal and see if he can hit the Aboriginal man before they get through.
Roll me an unarmed strike.
I'm gonna use
That advantage.
another advantage on this. A 12.
With a satisfying and audible crack, the of the bull roar as it spins and kind of crashes to the ground, and the Aboriginal man begins to slump, but where he lands you do not know, as the disc vanishes from the air of the sewer. And the marauders stop that were heading towards it, look at one another, and continue to run.
They're just like running out of the sewer now.
You don't know where you haven't been to where they're running yet, but they are running. It looks like
They're just running now.
They are running.
Where's Jessica? Where's Jessica now? She's come back up, right?
Yeah, I'm with the kiddos.
Snail and the kiddos.
Yes, and you have an army of mutant.
I have an army of mutant children.
Right. This is I said it in chat. This is the Temple of Doom moment, where like
Spider-Man
Short Round
throws a
and
tracker
Indy.
on Sabretooth.
Roll it then. Roll it. What is it? I'm not sure if you have a roll for that, but if you do, go ahead and give it a shot. No, yeah, your spider tracer. Yeah, so go ahead and roll me an agility to see if you can fling it right to get it where it needs to be.
I'll use an advantage. 14.
It nestles amongst his hair as he runs off. I'm sure he won't find that, but as it's beeping in his mane.
He never showers.
Right. All I need to know is, are we chasing them, or are you letting the marauders live to fight another day? The ones that are not unconscious.
Wolverine he'll stay back against what he wants to do, because there's a bunch of kids all around him.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta
Clearly,
get
we're
out of
staying
here.
behind to protect the children.
Okay, so as you all find the children, Doug Ramsey comes out last. He seems... Shit. Be right back, everybody. Guess whose headphones just went out? All right, we're back, everybody. Hopefully we can hear, and hopefully everything is groovy. I didn't say it this time. I know it's why. So as we have the disappearance of the marauders, and as they creep forward and exit, several of them are left. Several of them seem to be, well, I gotta know this. Kitty, what do you do with Scalp Hunter?
I was just thinking about that. I was like, if I leave him in the ground, the kids will never know.
That's right.
But Logan will know. And while she knows he's typically like cool with that kind of thing, she is trying to get out of the Junior X-Men. And so I think she's kind of just going to phase out everything but her hands and say, so do you want me to, like, hey, Logan, you want to, like, leave him in here? Or should we, like, just give him some questions?
Oh, no, we should question him.
Okay. Let's pull him
Just
out.
don't unphase him yet. And
Okay.
Logan's gonna get up like really close, so that as soon as he's unfazed, he can just slug him right in the face.
You can have your claws right, like, in him and, like, as a threat. And we can just, you know, like, and I'll just, if I can just unphase him if he doesn't.
Yeah, I will have you easily knock out Scalp Hunter as he is by himself at this point. So you have captured Scrambler, Prism, Scalp Hunter, Riptide, and Blockbuster, which is not bad considering you all were severely outnumbered there for quite a bit. I knew you guys would pull it off because the Legion's awesome and gives you guys benefits. But yeah, so as you are all looking at these people...
And if I see Doug, I run over and give him a hug after Wolverine KOs Scalp Hunter.
Yeah, Doug hugs you right back, and he just looks like he's going to say something, and then just shakes his head and hugs you all again. And he seems the worse for wear, as he has a cut over his eye. He's black and blue. It looks like he's been hit several times, but he is steady for now. And these kids, you will learn, all miss. Some of them have missing persons reports filed for them all up and down the tri-state area, from points outside of the Isle of Manhattan and Empire City. But they are returned to whom they belong. And that's where we'll end our story, as it appears that this situation was controlled. But we don't always do that here. We'll just have one last thing. Just real quick. Give me a second while I get rid of everybody else. So, as the events from Empire City fall and the children are saved by the Fabulous Five, they are able to go about their lives and as much as they can in the torn and divided nation, anti and pro-mutant. But they are no longer in cages because heroes did what they needed to do. They saved the children, they saved the future. Shouldn't we all do those things? But sometimes the heroes always do find out. And across the seas, as Sue Storm and Johnny Storm rocket back to America, hearing only of Franklin's abduction, as Ben Grimm begins to awaken in a SHIELD medical facility, instead landing a jet of strange design and a blue propulsion, a wave of thrust, buffets a hood. And as the gangway two robotic figures walk forward, dragging a limp figure between them. And as Victor Von Doom walks up and looks at each of his robotic henchmen, he stares instead at the prize he has acquired between the two. He reaches down and grabs the person by the hair, lifts them up as their unconscious face meets his of metal, and Victor says, "Well, well, Franklin, now your true education will begin." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will end this session of Empire City. Bring back everybody else. Oh, that's not it. Yay, everybody's back. Super fun. Super fun times. Don't worry. You have a Franklin. Awesome. Let's go around and talk to everybody. Legion, thank you so much for your donations. I can't wait to measure up everything that we have. I'm actually going to, I knew that the plot information would not help. We hit our third goal and a little bit more on top of that. So I will save that for the crew, and then I will make it part of the opening recap when we do this again. We have, like I said, Hawk is going to be joining us as Scott Summers. Anybody else that wants to become one of these fantastic heroes, you certainly can do so. We have spots for 2 more for this season. All of it goes to RAICES, Texas, that raises money for the border crisis in southern United States. I'm so very happy for all of your generosity, and I'm so very happy for this fantastic group that I get to play with. Look at how they dressed up, everybody. You just can't ask for that. Mark's wearing a unitard, for God's sakes. Do you know what that means? When it's not, I'll take a quick bio break. It's give me 30 minutes. I need 30 minutes and a friend that can keep a secret. You know, I mean, it's...
Yeah, and I thought you were that friend, but apparently now the secret goes out to the entire...
I am nobody's friend, right. Awesome. Let's go around and talk to everybody, please, as we go to Lindy. Lindy, how are you? I love the almost deadly turn that Kitty had taken.
I will say that Kitty, well, I'm excited for Scott Summers. Kitty's probably not, because that means she's going to have 2 babysitters with her. Though out of all the babysitters in the X-Men, Wolverine is her favorite. So she's not going to tell him, but she had a lot of fun today and was kind of like, I mean, do we violence this? You're probably right. We probably should just ask some questions. I had an absolute blast. This was so much fun. I think everyone embodies their characters so well. It's a lot of fun. It's a great group makeup. You've got the serious and the kind of more lackadaisical. Again, can't say enough things about these wonderful people, but you can find me online playing with some of these wonderful people throughout the week and stuff at Laugh Love Lindy on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I like playing tabletop RPGs, and I love these people.
Fantastic, my friend. As we jump over to Spider-Man. Spider-Man, how are you doing, Steve?
I feel great, buddy. It's great to be back. I really enjoyed this. Thank you, everybody, for the donations. The charity is a great cause. I want to thank everybody for putting this together. Gigi did a great job. I'll be here soon. I guess we're going to be doing the Realms Remembered, and I'm a part of that. I will be playing James. I won't give away anything, but I want to thank you, and I can't wait to play this again, because this is my jammy jam. So I want to thank you.
Awesome, buddy. Awesome. And let's jump up to Jess to mirror what Lindy said first. I swear to God, if Kristen Ritter ever pulls out of Jessica Jones, or they ever need it, we need to send them these clips, because the reluctant hug of a child that was simply in a cage is the most Jessica Jones. Like, instead of like falling into the hug, oh child, you're safe, it's a reluctant hug. That is the greatest Jessica Jones moment. And like, even that doesn't get that perfect. My friend, how are you?
Doing great. It is always super duper fun to play this character, because I just get to be the saltiest, like, most tired, which I sometimes embody myself, minus the alcohol. But this is always so fun, and I love that this is always for such a good cause. Right now, in particular, this was very, very on the nose in the best way, and thank you to everybody for donating and all of the love you all spewed in chat the whole time. It was great. You can find me at Little Cup of Joe on Twitch and Twitter. I stream some RPGs, usually extremely weeby things, because I'm really more of an anime nerd than a comics nerd, but I like it all. And yeah, you can see what else I'm doing on there. I'm in some stuff with Lindy, and I love getting to play with this crew, because I don't get to see the rest of you nearly enough.
I completely agree with that. Again, fantastic job with Jessica Jones, and Mr. Dad Joke in the middle of a fight himself, Mr. Fantastic, closing Blockbuster down was awesome. My friend, how are you?
Hey, thank you so much, Greg. People, this is so much fun. I can't even tell you how much fun I've been having. I am just so proud to be a member of this super fabulous five, which is a horrible name, but seems to be sticking. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody in chat out there. This is a really important charity for me. I hope you realize by the subject matter how horrible it is for any child to be in a cage for any reason. So just put a little bit of that out there for you. So in the meantime, my version of Reed Richards will leave tying his fingers into balloon animals for the mutant children as everything dissolves to black. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at Actual Slack, and I hope you do, because I'm kind of new to this Twitch scene and I could use some friends. Thanks a lot for letting me be a part of this, guys.
Fantastic, my friend. And you know what? I always have a t-shirt moment, and Jessica Jones is a quitter is definitely one from this. The other one is a single panel, no dialogue of Reed making balloon animals with his fingers for the kids. That's fantastic. That's pure Marvel right there.
Yep.
Somewhere Stan is super
That's Mr.
duper
Fantastic.
happy. Yes. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn, my friend, Wolverine in all of the hair and the leather and the tank top. My friend, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. I'm glad that we're doing it and doing it for such a great cause. Thank you, everybody. Just to mirror what everyone else has said, it means a lot to be able to share this with you, have fun doing it, and to know that you're supporting a great cause and you're having fun watching us. That's just the best feeling. So looking forward to more. Love playing Wolverine. And I absolutely love everybody's character. I just think you guys all nail it. It's awesome. I love it. That's all. I think also for Kitty and Wolverine going forward, he probably wouldn't tell her that he does this, but he's going to put in a good word with Professor X. She didn't act like a junior X-Men in this adventure. She was a full-fledged X-Men in his opinion. So anyways, you can follow me on Twitter at Donathan Fry. I do other things on this channel, including Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am the Dungeon Master for May Black, Roses Bloom. If you haven't already checked that out, please do. We're on YouTube. You can Google us, and we have a ton of episodes. So if you like it, there's a lot of stuff for you to watch. And if you don't like it, then come back and watch more Marvel.
Fantastic, my friend, and who couldn't like May Black Roses Bloom, which is absolutely fantastic. As for myself, I am Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, part of the Tales from the Grim team here on the very own Twitches. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up tomorrow night. We have Bad Moon Rising, which is GM'd by our own Lauren. It is an Urban Shadows campaign. It is super duper fun, especially since you could die at a moment's notice. It's like Cthulhu, only it gives you a brief bit of hope and then none. And then off the aforementioned Wednesdays with May Black Roses Bloom. And I believe we have a Kickstarter for the Spy Game this next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, where we will be playing the currently in Kickstarter Spy Game from Sam RPG Webby. And we are going to be spies, and I'm super duper looking forward to it. A lot of fun stuff coming up here on the channel. We'll be back in 2 weeks for Marvel as we gear up for the next session, and the charity will remain the same. We will not change it until at the earliest August. So any donations for Marvel will be going to the same charity for the month of July. I will let everybody know that the next one that we have will be Empire City Spider-Man. Empire City Spider-Man. As we get a look into Peter Parker's life and to see how exactly Spider-Man fits into all of this. So, thank you very much, TV. Everybody, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for being the best damn community on this here Twitches. And let's see, he mentioned something about the Realms Remembered. That's our brand new D&D show coming a little bit later this summer. I'll leave you with that video, but just remember, as the campfire goes down, there's nothing more to say. You can't always roll nat 20s unless you're Kitty or Jess or you're drinking or you're throwing up, but you can always role play. See you next time, friends.